welcome to You Hear Us. Of course, I am Duffy, and I'm always joined by
Steps.
And you already know the name because I already said the name once. We are You Hear Us. And man, what a wild first week of the NFL. We still have one more game tomorrow, and I've already told you off air that when the Seahawks win, it'll eclipse the wildest week one of the year I've ever probably watched in my life.
It would eclipse, but they're not winning.
Yeah, because you got money on it.
I got money on it, and Les Ride's coming through for me because didn't hit a damn thing this weekend.
If he doesn't come through for you, it's going to be pretty wild.
I take nothing but L's, except for KU.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's ride.
Wave that wheat, baby. Wave that wheat.
Thought you were an FSU fan.
I am.
How'd they do this week?
Didn't play this weekend.
Oh, got to buy.
They got to buy. Hey, yeah, because they played like the first week of college football season when like 4 teams played.
Okay.
4 or 5 teams played. Well, I guess it can't be 5, but you know what I'm saying.
I mean, if there was a week to like not be off because you know people aren't going to talk about you, it would be like week 1 of the NFL. So that is kind of smart on them.
You know.
But they did do a stupid thing where they didn't hire Deion Sanders, and look where they probably would be now if they had him.
Well, that's neither here nor there.
We won't talk about that because we got plenty of NFL to talk about it. But before we get into the games, I talked to you.
My man is
off air,
fired up.
We got some things that I need to get off my chest real quick, and I don't like to be a Bart Scott or somebody that like just throws out all their stuff and this is the right way and all you guys are idiots. But I'm gonna say it: this is right, and you all are idiots. And by you all, I'm gonna start with you, Jason Garrett. You know, I'm going to take it from Bart Scott. And there's a reason why you got fired. And it's for the shit you said on Sunday Night Football tonight. And what I am referring to is, and I quote, "I have never seen a QB this young, this good. If I had to draft a QB right now, I would take Herbert." So before I get into my little spiel, I just have one question before I drop into it. Is Patrick LeVon Mahomes II still in this league?
I think so. I believe he is.
I feel like I saw somebody with 15 of Mahomes on his back play really good today. But anyway, yeah, let's get into what Jason Garrett had said. So like I said, let's go to I never seen the QB play this good, this young. Mahomes MVP season, he was 23 years old. His first year that he started the whole time. That was his first year starting. Herbert is now 24, by the way. So
okay,
for clarity. So that's why I went back to Mahomes MVP season 23. Just right off the bat, Herbert won an MVP yet?
No.
And he's already 24.
Yep.
So already younger and played better. Okay. In Mahomes' 24 season. Herbert could still do this, but this was only Mahomes' second season. We're in Herbert's third. Mahomes was a Super Bowl winner and a Super Bowl MVP. So, you know, Herbert could compare to that in his third season, not his second season. So, again, a young quarterback that's already proved to you how good it is to be. And on top of all this, Herbert also needed a defense to only allow 19 points today against the Raiders.
Hey, man, he had a little help from Derek
in his so far unbelievable season already, correct,
yes.
Right? Yes, and Derek Carr had a rough time. Mahomes at 23 in his first season, younger than Herbert, 1 year younger than him, only got that privilege from his defense 4 times all season.
We all know how that turned out. That defense couldn't stop a nosebleed.
And the first time they allowed it, or they kept a team under 19 points, was week 5. So he had to come out firing at the beginning. There was no let's just put him in the coals and he'll warm up to it. No, he had to go throw for over 19 points to make sure they'd win. And all those games were within like 5 points. I mean, I don't know.
But he's not the best.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the national why they're looking for somebody new when you have – they're all in second place, Patrick Mahomes. I don't understand how you don't get that.
Hey, like I always say, live long enough to what's the saying go? You either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain.
This dude's 5 years into – this is his 5th year.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I also had a game to start off with this. It's going to be pick your quarterback.
Okay.
Player 1 this weekend had 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Player 2 had 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. Player 3 had 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then there's player 4 with 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Who are you going to go with?
I mean, the 5 touchdowns.
Oh, okay. Well, that was Patrick Mahomes because he's the only one that threw for over 300 yards and for 5 touchdowns. But Justin Herbert somehow had a way better game, should be the MVP this year already, and he threw for almost 100 yards less and 2 less touchdowns.
The 297 one was Josh Allen, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But this is neither here nor there. We'll get into this later. But the Bills are already in the Super Bowl, if you guys don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They are already –
already
it's just a damn shame for the Chiefs.
up.
They played so good, but it don't even matter.
No, yep.
So that was 5 touchdowns. And here's two. Just because they kept comparing him to Herbert, Mahomes has also had 9+ games now with at least 5 touchdowns. That's with running and passing. And I had to put running and passing, and I'm going to tell you why. So Mahomes, in his first season, he had 2.
Okay.
In his second season, he only had 1, and it was in the playoffs, again, somewhere where Herbert has not been yet. I wanted to rephrase that as well. In his third season, he had 2, and then one of them was rushing. He had a total. He had 4 passing, 1 rushing, and then in his and he had 3 in season 4, 1 in the playoffs. Again, somewhere Herbert hasn't been in his coming on 3 years now.
Playoffs.
Mahomes was there in his first 2 years.
Oh yeah.
And then in season 5, 1 game in, already has 5 touchdowns passing. And he's only 26, but he's too old.
Hey,
now.
pump your brakes. He's not the greatest.
He can't be the greatest because
and
he's
you can't
26.
start a franchise. You can't start a franchise with him yet.
Not with a 26-year-old because Herbert's 24.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how the narrative last year was who would you start your franchise with if they were 25 and younger. Now it's going to be who will you start your franchise with 25 and younger because Mahomes is 26. You can't put him in there.
Yeah, no.
You want to know how many 5-yard or 5 touchdown games Herbert's had in his career? He's in season 3.
Is the over under 1? I'm gonna go under.
He
0.
does have 1,
Oh.
but that's why I had to add in the rushing and passing.
Oh, okay.
Because he's only had 4 touchdowns in the air and he had 1 rushing.
Okay.
So that's why I put the rushing and passing in there, not to help Mahomes, but to help
him.
Herbert actually get 1. And don't get me wrong, it's one of those that the media is ticking me off about it. Herbert's a good quarterback.
Yes.
But Mahomes, like you're comparing somebody to Mahomes. It's like comparing Mahomes now to Brady at the end of the year.
Right.
That's not. It's not there yet.
No.
Could there be? Yes.
Yes.
Could Herbert get there? Kind of no, because he hasn't got a Super Bowl MVP or an MVP yet in his first 2 years.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate right here on this. So I understand where Jason Garrett's coming from because he fell in love with the attributes of Justin Herbert. It's a big body, got a live arm, can make all the throws on the field. It's athletic, but there's one thing holding him back: Brandon Staley.
Is it? You think that's what it is? Because everything that you just said, the attributes of Justin Herbert, kind of sounds like Patrick LeVar Mahomes II.
No.
Athletic. Never gets caught.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, when he's rushing, never gets caught.
I
Live arm. Didn't he throw a ball out of the fucking...
Oh, dude, I'm not
You're
saying...
playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it's like, what does Jason Garrett see?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I just... did, like, and they even gave him a chance because they asked him who he would draft right after the Patrick Mahomes' highlights. And he's like, well, you can't do that to me. You just show me Patrick Mahomes. So he's like, but I still have to go with Justin Herbert. And I'm like...
I want to know if you poll all the GMs and head coaches, and if they had to pick a quarterback to start their franchise, I guarantee Pat Mahomes probably comes in 3rd or 4th.
I bet you they don't pick him. They're going to take
Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow.
And
those
everything,
are 1, 2, 3.
everything that they want them guys to be, Mahomes is already done.
Right.
And newsflash, Mahomes don't have a number 1 wide receiver anymore. He has Travis Kelce. Yes, tight end. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So you could say all of this happened because he had Tyreek at the start of his career. Maybe. But year
helps.
5,
Yeah.
he ain't got a wide receiver, and he threw 5 touchdowns tonight.
Right.
Herbert has Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And Austin Eckler is a runner, passer, catcher.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Mahomes is hindered in the media by Andy Reid? And I mean hindered as they think he's only good because Andy Reid is such a good play caller. Him and Bieniemy.
Well, I could agree with that. I don't know if I'd throw Bieniemy in there.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
I'm just
because
trying
I don't
to
think
give
the
Bieniemy
national
credit.
media. I don't think the national media likes Bieniemy.
No, they don't.
It's one of those. But like, it's one of those things. Like, yeah, Andy Reid's good for him, but there's a reason why the Bengals are always looking for a new quarterback. There's a reason why the Chargers hadn't had anybody since Phillip Rivers, I guess, but Dan Fouts had been their guy. There's a reason why Miami is still looking for Dan Marino. Everybody said Dan Marino was the greatest quarterback, never won the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is literally that and has a Super Bowl.
Right.
He's everything you've ever wanted And I don't want to be the guy to say it, but he's not a 6'5" white guy. And I hate to be the guy that says it, and I'm white. I'm starting to see it like, why are we not wanting Mahomes? I can understand like the narrative of not wanting Lamar Jackson.
I think Dak even gets more hype than Mahomes.
Exactly. If Mahomes played for the Cowboys, he would be insufferable. Because if he did everything for the Cowboys that he's done for the Chiefs, it would be insufferable.
And it's bad. This is going to sound bad. I would hate him.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I agree with
hate the man.
Potter would be like, oh, God, I love him so much. But I'm with you. I would
just
absolutely
because of my
hate him. Yes.
My hatred for the Cowboys.
But and then, so to finish all this, I guess, before I get into
but I kind of
I
like the discussion, though. That's the thing. I like the discussion.
But as a young Patrick Mahomes said, I think in the year that he won the Super Bowl, or no, the year after he won the Super Bowl, I'll see it when I believe it. So until Herbert shows me that he's the next big thing, he's not going to be. Because you want to know why? Mahomes is still going to be in this league. And another thing is like, if I draft Justin Herbert now, he'll be in the league for the next 20 years.
So, Pat.
Jason Garrett, this motherfucker is 26 years old.
Yeah.
And then, so it's going to be great because this is what's going to happen. You know, this is Mahomes' revenge tour, basically. Oh, I've only won because I've had.
He's going.
He's already got 5.
Yeah.
Against a team that was second in their division, got to the playoffs, was a pretty good team until they kind of fell off at the end. Usually, the Cardinals are a start fast, end slow.
Yeah.
They ain't starting fast because you ran into the buzzsaw of the Kansas City Chiefs this year, and we put 44 up on you with Juju fumbling the ball twice. Luckily, one of them went out of bounds today, but the other one was wide open in the necessary time. Defense made a stop. Our defense, this is the best defense Mahomes has ever had.
Oh,
and we're already counting the Chiefs out.
100%. I'm just going, and you know it, I know it, but Thursday night, I think Mahomes is going to try to put up 100 points.
I think Mahomes might try to throw for 8 touchdowns himself.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I'm glad it's a Thursday night early.
Yes, and I almost feel scared because he's going to try to, I think he's so pissed off at everybody, he's going to push the issue all year like, hey.
He was out there counting again.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you.
4 he counted. He didn't know he didn't have another one coming.
Y'all pissed off the wrong person.
He could have had 6. Like, the Chiefs' offense, and another thing, I'm not gonna discuss if Eric Bieniemy should have a head coaching job. I believe he does. But Mahomes, when everybody was like, holy shit, he's the next big thing, who was the OC then? He went to the Bears. He's back now.
Oh, Nagy.
Yeah.
Nagy's
he's the quarterback
great.
coach. Yes.
Nagy's great. I don't care what anybody says as a head coach. But being one of your like on staff,
yes,
working with the offense, quarterbacks,
having one job,
yes,
working with a quarterback that's been comfortable with you because he had you already. Like, you've unlocked Mahomes again.
Yeah.
Like, this is
MVP Mahomes.
You thought you played the boss, and it's like, oh, actually, here's the other one. You're like, oh, fuck.
Because he just got more. He just got a couple more
leagues, yes,
and a couple more years in the league. Got more comfortable. He's learning, and he just go ahead and.
And that's the thing. So it's going to
put a couple notches in his belt.
And the thing is, either Bieniemy's going to get a job next year. We can already start talking about Bieniemy should be a head coach somewhere because this offense is going to take the next wave. So then you're going to have Andy Reid for a couple more years probably, and then Nagy's probably going to get his second chance.
And I don't know if I want Nagy being the head coach.
I don't know either.
But it might work out.
But it might work out because it's going to be a second thing. It's going to be like, I feel like
comfortability process.
Reid will retire, but he'll probably be like, hey, I'm going to stay with you guys. I'll still, all that stuff. But by then, Mahomes is going to be the true form of like he's going to be he'll
be the offensive coordinator himself.
Yes, exactly. So it's going to be one of those like then it's going to be Mahomes ain't going to be nothing without Andy Reid. So it's going to come out that year too. Yeah. He's going to be like, hey, here I am. Public service announcement, Jay-Z all over again.
Another thing that people need to understand, I'm going to put this on there, that Patrick Mahomes has done. He almost has I'm not saying we're not going to crown him first ballot Hall of Fame. Don't spin it that way. But he might not be first ballot. He's done more right now in his 5 years. This is his 5th year. By the time this 5th year's over, he'll have done more than a lot of Hall of Fame
17,
quarterbacks.
18, 19, 20, 21. He didn't play, obviously, like redshirted his first year. So 22 is like, I think he's going on his 6th or whatever, but I call it his 5th.
Yeah, people are going to the Hall of Fame. Breeze, Rodgers. How many Super Bowls he got? One. Yeah. How many has Mahomes got? One.
How many did Breeze play in?
One. Yeah, I was like,
how many has Mahomes been in? I mean, yeah.
You don't want to be. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to crown him early, but I'm just saying, like, what he's done. You have a list of accomplishments he's already done.
He's already been a first-team All-Pro.
So don't take that away from him.
Yeah, first-team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, which, granted, that doesn't matter because everybody gets in the Pro Bowl. But, like, Mahomes is like your first Pro Bowler, and then if they don't, because they've been in the Super Bowl, then they pick somebody else up kind of thing.
I also think it's market. A little bit of Kansas City.
I think a lot of it is the market.
Mahomes does this with the Giants,
Giants,
the Jets,
Cowboys.
yeah, West Coast,
Yeah.
Chargers, Rams, whoever. I mean, he's a megastar.
Yeah.
But no, little old Patrick Mahomes and a little old Midwest.
Yeah.
And we're going to take Herbert because he's in the flashy lights of L.A.
Yeah. That they can't even get fans to go to their stadium that they just built.
And I have nothing against Justin Herbert.
No, I like Justin Herbert.
I like Justin Herbert a lot.
This is the media
don't count
thing.
out, yeah.
This is the thing that we're in now because we do podcasting, but, like, it's their fault.
Right.
Like, and it's been like this. I can understand the offseason talk. But when Patrick Mahomes comes out and does that the week one, when all these other quarterbacks that you're trying to crown, like, they were trying to talk about how Josh Allen had a great game. One interception was not on him yet.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
But he threw another one that was definitely on him. And there was a couple other ones I think that were dropped that you're like,
right.
What are we throwing here? Now, don't get me wrong. Josh Allen brings a whole new thing because he's 6'8", whatever, and can run you over.
He was built in the lab.
and it might come down to the Chiefs, Bills again. But I can tell you this: the Chiefs have already stopped them. Allen's gotten better passing, but I would say Allen was in peak form last year. Got beat still.
And there's one thing what you just said. I'm gonna piggyback off of it.
You like to do that a lot.
I do because you start bringing up stuff in my head. Josh Allen and Justin Herbert have to go through Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Dave might have beat him in the regular season. Actually, I don't know if Josh Allen's even ever beat Patrick Mahomes.
Josh Allen has. I think they beat him in the regular season last year.
Okay, and then
because that's why they were so confident they could go in there.
That's right, they did. Yeah. And then I know the Chargers have beat him, but you haven't beat him when it counts. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you went. You were
13 seconds.
So I guess the biggest thing that would have benefited us is if the Raiders would have beat the Chargers.
Yep.
Because then at least we would have heard the whole adage that Derek Carr is.
That dude, oh my gosh. I cheered so hard for you, Derek Carr.
Hey, that interception in the end zone before we get into, going through our whole week. I mean, I told you he was going to be trying to throw it to Devontae Adams. Yeah. And when he threw that ball up, I'm like,
sweet.
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, it's going to be a fun season.
I know Devontae Adams put his hands up in protest like he got pass interference, but I guarantee he was like, dude, what?
Yeah. Hey, I understand you got to give me the ball, but
like, bro, what was
Wall
that?
Street's still on this team. Hunter Renfrow's still on the team. Like, Devontae Adams will be better if you work it around.
Hey, what was that meme they used to do at Patrick Mahomes? F it. Tyler's down there somewhere.
It's Devontae now.
Devontae's down there somewhere.
Yeah, and he's launching it. But, let's get into our week one. We'll get into the 1 o'clock wackiness first because it had us all hype. We were all still pretty much awake. We were all living for
living in the moment there.
For the football then. And we'll get into I know I put on Twitter, and it was kind of – we're going to find out this year before we get into the 1 o'clock games if this NFL is fixed. Because I don't know if you saw my tweet.
I didn't see your tweet.
But the home of the Super Bowl, there was 2 tweets I put out. The home of the Super Bowl this year is in Arizona.
Right.
And I did tweet out that the Chiefs look pretty comfortable where the Super Bowl is going to be later on in this year. Something you don't know is it used to be like the University of Phoenix or whatever was there.
University of Phoenix Stadium.
Well, now Arizona Cardinals is the State Farm Stadium.
Oh, it's...
What have everybody been championing for the past couple of years?
State Farm Super Bowl.
State Farm Super Bowl. Well, if this NFL is fixed, and this is probably going to ruin everything because I know everybody watches this show and it's going to. Roger's probably watching this. Yeah, it's blowing this up.
Blown up.
Sorry, Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have a really bad year because they're not going to let you get to the Super Bowl now. But if it's fixed and they want it to happen, I did say it's going to be the Packers versus the Chiefs, State Farm Bowl at State Farm Stadium. It's the only thing that makes sense.
It's 100% fixed. After we watched the Packers play today, after we watched them play today, and they make it to the Super Bowl.
They did this last year though too.
I don't want to hear him come on. RELAX, relax.
Yeah.
Bro, what I just saw today was different than.
I don't think he's relaxing because there was some shots he took that he was like, you know what,
brother looks stressed.
Remember that picture that we sent last year? It was up there. I mean, there's several of them where that chin guard. He's like, maybe I'm gonna go to that new improved chin guard.
Right.
I haven't got hit this hard in a minute.
Yeah, that dude was. Oh, they struggled.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, as soon as that rookie dropped that ball on that wide open at the beginning of the game,
and he was
probably like, Devontae Adams wouldn't drop that damn ball.
Nope.
Yeah, he was looking around. He looked over and he's like,
"Where's Tay at?"
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then you did say that they haven't drafted a first-round wide receiver in
2 decades.
So basically, almost his whole time there.
Yeah.
And more.
So
they didn't ever draft one for Favre, and they didn't ever draft one for
doing them a disservice.
Yeah. And sometimes being a really good QB, that's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
I guess the Chiefs hadn't drafted a wide receiver 1.
Well,
for Mahomes.
Not for Mahomes, no.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say.
But they find value in all of their picks. Mm-hmm. Like we went, Duffy first? Or no, we went.
Yeah, the corner.
Yeah. Then we went Duffy first, and then we got Sky Moore a little bit later and all that stuff.
I'm not. Hey, the Chiefs can draft, so I'm not worried about them.
But Rodgers.
But in 2 decades,
yes. And I think Rodgers was okay with this year's draft because they involved him finally. They haven't involved him in the past drafts. Like he came on the Pat McAfee show when they were doing their draft spectacular, and he was like, yeah, I think we're getting ready to kind of get on it. And he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't take a wide receiver this time because they knew who they were targeting and what they were going to be. But speaking of wide receivers, we're getting Jahan Dotson's a dog. I don't know if there's going to be a better quarterback for him because Wentz is that fucking he's down there kind of thing.
Riding the high of Carson Wentz. We almost need to be videotaped live watching these games on Red Zone. Because we FaceTime each other
so many times.
Like, dude, did you see that?
Yeah. And then I remember they cut to McPherson getting blocked, cutting over to the Colts real quick, and I was like, no way we watched 3 missed field goals at once, and then you laughed, and then I saw it live, I was like,
yeah, man, my man Rodrigo that's hurt me right there.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's tough.
Right.
Anyways, let's get into week 1. Let's go with we're gonna start with the Eagles 38 at the Lions 35. The score looks really, really bad for the Eagles.
You did,
but they did score like 21 unanswered at one point.
The Eagles will be fine.
The Eagles are good. The Lions, they don't have any fight in them, and I think that's what the Eagles learned is like this team's going to play until it's 0-0-0.
If you watched Hard Knocks or even just listen to Dan Campbell talk.
Man.
Yeah, man. If you listen to Dan Campbell talk.
We're going to do more up-downs, man.
He said, I don't care if you got 1 ass cheek and 3 toes. We're coming to fight.
I didn't hear that. That was live. Yeah, that's live for me ever hearing that.
I can't believe you've heard that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Man, if you got 1 ass cheek and 3 toes, we coming for you.
That's
crazy. We don't care. We bite kneecaps on the way back up. But it's true. I mean, like that Lions team didn't give up. And another thing, I didn't realize how many close games they lost last year. I forgot, like possession games.
There at the end, they kind of started. They turned it on, and that's what I remember. They talked to Dan Campbell, and then they kind of asked him in the media, like, "Hey, are you gonna like? How's the new OC?" And he's like, "I don't know. You might have to fight me for these play calling because he found out like last year." He didn't do too bad play calling.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, I mean, it was a Jared Goff game. 215, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He's going to have that. I wouldn't say, there's a reason.
Flashes of being good, and then you're like, oh,
there's
Jared.
a reason why the Rams let him go because they knew that they needed more. Mm-hmm. But speaking of that, we didn't even get into that game. I don't know if Stafford is more anymore. Like, he might have been a flash in the pants, got hot at the right time.
I almost feel like this sounds crazy, but they were talking about Stafford's elbow. It was more of a baseball injury. Does Stafford need Tommy John?
I think he had some type of quick
surgery. He didn't do it.
He did.
Or wait, maybe he did, but it's either he had some type of surgery or he didn't do surgery and they made him rehab a certain way like a baseball player for 8 months. Like he couldn't throw for 8 weeks or maybe even longer than that. Some crazy amount of time he couldn't throw a football. So.
I don't think Thursday night's game was a good representation of how his arm was because Von Miller was on his ass 24/7.
Dude.
Like we were all talking about how like the Rams lost Von Miller.
I didn't realize Von Miller still had it like that.
Yeah, we didn't know Von Miller. Like, I was about to go in there and change my pick for Defensive Player of the Year to Von because that's impressive. Like, when you get the highlight at the beginning of the year, you got to like, Von's got kind of a head start to being Defensive Player of the Year. And they say, in the locker room, like, he does so much more for that team than you think on the field. Like, his play could kind of diminish on the field, but just knowing where everybody should be kind of thing like
what
that.
What was McVay thinking just watching Von this wreck shop?
Why didn't we fucking sign that guy? Are you fucking – I mean, come on, man. Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, I already knew where he's running. I already know the routes from last year that he was doing. Like, why ain't he doing it now? Like, you know how that McVay is. He can remember a play from 5 years ago.
Sorry.
Like,
I said the wrong thing.
No, you said McVay.
Did I say McVay? Okay, I thought I said something else.
More caffeine.
Yeah. But
anyway, Vikings will be playing the Eagles next at Eagles Stadium. They're both 1-0, so Eagles and Vikings will be 1-0. The Lions are unfortunately 0-1. We do not think that they will be an undefeated or a defeated season.
Yeah, no, they're going to win.
They're going to win some games. I think they might get 5 or 6. It was really kind of impressive that they got within 3 points of the Eagles.
Right.
But there's like 3 minutes left in the game.
Right. You never felt like they were
going into the fourth quarter. It was 38-21. So it kind of felt like the game was over. But that's the thing that you're going to have to learn about the Lions. Like, I don't know if the Eagles slowed down any or whatever, but like you're going to have to keep the gas pedal on these guys.
They're not your everyday Lions like you used to see in the past.
I think we got a good name for who the Lions are going to play next. So it used to be Cardiac Carson Wentz, 2 sprains. I think Cardiac Commanders are going to be perfect for him because they came back and won, but that's who the Lions are going to be playing next week.
Hey, that could be oops.
Can you still see everything on your side too?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so yeah, Cardiac Carson, it's going to be interesting with him all year. They are 1-0. The Lions, that we're obviously going to give our picks on Wednesday's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're just kind of rolling through everything now, what we kind of saw and all that, but that's going to be an interesting one to have to pick.
Yeah, I won't be betting on that one. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, that one's gonna be. We're gonna save that.
Leave that for the degenerates.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, Jalen Hurts looked good. 243, no touchdowns in the air, but 17 carries for 90 yards, 1 tutty.
Yeah.
And breaking news: Miles Sanders did score a touchdown this year.
Oh, that's right. He
did not have a touchdown last year.
Yep.
Did score one this year.
That's right. Help out my fantasy. Let's go.
Exactly, mine too. And AJ Brown. Good trade. 10 receptions, 155 yards. If that dude can stay healthy, that's a big dude.
Yeah.
Big dude.
Huge pickup.
Big dude. DeAndre Swift did DeAndre Swift things. I don't think we have to worry about the Lions not having a running back anymore. I know there for a while, they went and got Adrian Peterson.
Didn't work out.
They didn't have any running back for over 100 yards for, years, I think. 5, 6, 7 years. Even when Stafford was there and they made the playoffs, I don't think they had a running back. But he had 15 carries, 144 yards. And Amon-Ra St. Brown had 8 receptions, 64 yards, and a tutty. And the cool thing about his tutty is his brother
scored right after him.
Right after, literally 2 minutes in between.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Popped up on Red Zone. They both scored, and I was like, man, that's awesome. Fun fact, I learned that their dad was a Mr. Olympian or Mr. Olympia or something like that.
You got to watch Hard Knocks. His dad comes on and puts him through a workout.
Oh, shit.
And then, when they're working out, they can't talk. They don't talk or anything. They just pushing weight.
Oh, God. Well, and they're wide receivers. They're not even
bread freaks.
I believe it. They were on that Ocho Cinco where he's not trying to have kids. He's trying to have athletes.
Bro.
He went out and picked his wife.
Dude, they had Amon-Ra and St. Brown, they had him with a shirt off, and the players were making fun of him because the dude is jacked.
Really?
You wouldn't expect it, but he is cut up. Oh. And then they goes into talking about his dad being a Mr. Olympia bodybuilder and his brother. And what he puts them through in the workouts, they don't talk, and if they did, they got in trouble. It is all business and no games.
Jeez, can't even talk. Yeah, you won't catch me in that workout room because I have to talk. That's why 100%. We have a podcast.
Exactly. You don't get this body.
Yeah, you don't look like this
without talking.
I talk more than I work out. Maybe that's why their dad nixed it because they used to just sit there on the bench
I guarantee it.
But that's why I look like this. Is because I did a lot of that in high school, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I did my 3 sets." What are you talking about? I'm just sitting here, just moving through some things. 49ers Bears. That's the next game. 10-19. The Niners. I think I did say they might finish the last of their division.
And then this one I got to take with a grain of salt. It was pouring out.
It was the Monsoon Bowl. Yeah. The Bears just redid their turf a week before. Obviously, they didn't put it in right.
Yeah. Nope.
Still shitty.
Gosh, this put turf in it.
Looked like my 1A school that I played football in. If we got too much rain, it was just a sloppy mess. What you really love playing in, in high school and all that stuff, or just on a Saturday if it's been raining, you go out there with your friends. Definitely not good for TV. Definitely not good for NFL.
No.
The good thing is it sounds like the Bears might be building a dome in Chicago in the future.
Some super stadium there.
If they stay there, they definitely need to do something along the lines of. If it's going to rain like that. I thought they were in Seattle or something. Which was raining. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know it rained that much in Chicago.
There's tons. I did not.
It just kept on coming.
Yeah.
But if the NFL's fixed, we'll find out because they threw the rain on there for the 49ers look bad. Is it too early to Jimmy G?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said because the rain, I can't say anything about thinking about Trey Lance yet. But I was thinking it.
We can't say here and lie.
I can't say here and lie.
Why was he there?
I was 100% thinking.
Like you said, Lance, 13 for 28, 164 yards, 1 interception. That's kind of Jimmy G numbers, though.
Yeah.
The only difference is he had 13 carries for 54 yards, but
that's the difference.
It is.
But
it wasn't the difference today.
No.
Because Justin Fields, 8 for 17, 121 yards, did throw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 11 carries, 28 yards, and a super sweet-ass slide after they won the game, and they all went and slid into the water in the end zone. Oh, it was so cool. He slides into it. Gets up and flexes. It's pretty badass. It's probably going to be a picture somewhere on somebody's wall.
That's cool.
I want it. If you're listening, Fields, you can sign that and send it to me. We'll put it up in the man cave kind of thing.
Send it to us.
But yeah, I mean, Deebo Samuel was running back 1. Didn't see that coming. Thought he didn't want to be a running back.
Well, Deebo Samuel did Deebo Samuel thing.
8 carries, 52 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 receptions, 14 yards. I mean, obviously, a lot of the receptions came in the beginning of the game because, I mean, towards the end, it was like if you watched that on TV, it was terrible.
I saw one that slow-mo, and it just, even in the slow-mo, it was just rain everywhere.
Like, I don't know who has small hands in the NFL. I think Trubisky came out with small hands. Like, if Trubisky was in this, he'd look like me, you know, like when you get that football and you got to, like, almost shot put it because you can't grip it. Like, you probably be able to grip it. Like, I'm sure Trey Lance and Fields were able to grip the ball. Actually, Fields was wearing double gloves. I think he's 2 gloves.
Yep.
So maybe he has smaller hands, too. But, like, when you know what it's like if you got a wet ball and you can't,
when you have
like,
a wet ball, you have to squeeze it.
It'd probably be like when you were a kid more. Because, I mean, your hands are overly
You got to like
large,
crush it and to throw it. But normally, you can just have a nice little grip to it and throw it. But when it's wet, you got to...
Yeah, you're like... you look like that...
Make sure this thing will slip.
Yeah. So, it was one of those games, like, we do kind of have to take the 49ers losing with a grain of salt. But the problem is, like, they're in that division that, you know, the Seahawks were projecting to not be that good, but we don't know because they do have Pete Carroll. Like, he could throw some things up. Yeah. And if they win, again... they will be number 1 in their division. I do want to throw that out there. I'm speaking into existence.
I'm not going to lie. If they win tomorrow,
we might do an emergency podcast, and we'll just sit here and laugh for an hour.
If you ask me, the Seahawks, at one point, the Seahawks should be number 1 in their conference, I'd be like, you're full of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Not happening.
And we'll get into some other teams that are last in their division that I can't wait to talk about because I just love it. But, 49ers are going to take it with a grain of salt. They play the Seahawks next. Either they will both be 0-1 looking for their first win, division, and in the NFL, or one will be 1-0, and somebody will be fighting out of the cellar to get back to first place.
There you go.
And the Bears will be taking on the...
Packers.
Ayahuasca Packers.
Ayahuasca Packers. Hey, my man's going to need some ayahuasca to get through the season.
He's going to need some to just be able to relax after that game. Like, he might be having nightmares right now sleeping.
Could be.
I mean, he looked defeated on the side, on the bench over there. Rodgers, man, tough. But the Bears are going to go into that game 1-0. I did not see that coming against the Packers that are 0-1. Some people did see the Packers losing, but the Bears 1-0 and the Packers 0-1, no.
Well, doesn't Aaron own the Packers? Isn't he their owner? Is that what it said?
He owns the Bears, yes.
I
beeping own you, yes.
Yeah.
And it's at the Packers. So we want to say that much because it'll be at the Lambeau Field. Jeez, I about forgot the greatest. Well, allegedly the greatest, but yeah. Speaking of greats, Mike Tomlin,
man,
Steelers,
twin, let's go.
23-20 Bengals.
This game,
how the game got to 23-20. Well, I mean, I could tell you. T.J. Watt, who I was like hammer the defensive player of the year, went ahead and went out with torn pectoral and is out for the season. Cam Hayward also went out. Yeah, they all look good. Minka had an interception, ran back for a touchdown. Defense was really bringing the steel curtain. I mean, it was like Dick LeBeau and, I mean, Jack, I don't know all the old people's names I'm trying to say here now, but I mean, you know about the steel curtain. Yeah, like the ones that you got punished. Like, that's what it looked like. They had Mr. Joey Burr looking shook out there.
Yeah, he was.
I think he had 3 interceptions before he even got a ball to Jamar Chase.
He ended up with 4, didn't he?
Yeah, 4 interceptions. He still had 338 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 6 carries.
That's one thing Joe Burrow's going to do. He don't care how many interceptions he's throwing. He's slinging it.
He's going to let that bitch fly.
He's going to let it fly.
Yeah. And it's one of those, like, if, they would have won, I bet they probably were like, is Joe Burrow still the best quarterback in the NFL? And you're like, motherfucker threw 4 interceptions. And they weren't like, tipped off my running back or my wide receiver's hands. It was like, they went and got it. Minka went and got that one. I think number 20 went and got that one for the Steelers. They looked really good. The Steelers look good.
They did.
But they lost Najee. I think Najee's hurt.
Yep.
They lost T.J. Watt. They lost Cam Hayward went out. I mean, it's tough.
Not pretty.
But the good news is they have a quarterback that is mobile.
Yeah.
And I mean, the offensive line didn't look too bad.
No.
Najee did score a touchdown. Hopefully his, for a guy that did not get hurt all of last year, it's kind of scary to see that he's hurt now, at the beginning of the year, because that's something that with a running back that was like that is going to linger on for weeks probably. But Chase Claypool came in and carried. He ended up being the leading rusher with 6 carries and 36 yards. I think Najee went out fairly early. I think like first or second quarter. Freiermuth, one of my sleepers. Freiermuth. One of my sleepers in my tight ends that I wanted because I thought maybe he'd take the big step, especially with Trubisky's quarterback. He had 5 receptions, 75 yards. The Bengals, we'll get into overreaction or the truth later on, but Joe Mixon, they gave him the rock 27 times. You love to see that as a fantasy player.
Dude, he's on my fantasy team, and I'd love to see it. But get that motherfucker
didn't get a touchdown.
to the end zone.
Yeah, didn't get a touchdown. Might end up being the Miles Sanders of the Bengals. But Jamar Chase, he's that guy.
Dude.
How they don't have 2 people on this dude at all times, a spy and a guy over the top.
I can't believe they haven't figured it out yet. Like, dude, Jamar Chase, we'll get to the other person later, Justin Jefferson. You got to know where these dudes are at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, 10 receptions, 129 yards, and 1 touchdown. The touchdown came at the very end of the game. When you should have had him Blake, you should have had somebody under him. You should have had somebody over top of him. He should
Make
not
somebody
been
else
the
beat
one.
me.
Yes. And T. Higgins, I think, was the one that went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, T. Higgins went out. So it should be like, all right, we're going to somebody else. I don't care if it's Hayden Hurst or whoever their tight end was. Make him win the game. Don't let it be Joey Burrow, Jamar Chase. And they ended up almost doing it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for, I guess I'm going to go win this and put us in the whatever, McPherson and shanking one. But I believed it. Like, there's something different about, when you're making all your field goals, all that in 1 year, and then Fitzpatrick gets through there, blocks one. That's in your head next time.
Because then you got a clock in your head. Like, I got so much time to get this kickoff.
And that's the thing is, it looked like he sped up and he just tried to hammer through it, and it just right through.
Ah, man. Shank.
Yeah. The old Shankopotamus.
Yeah.
But then, Boswell missed it.
Boswell's
Boswell
kick,
kicked it. He looked like he was about to Conor McGregor. Like he
came and posed afterwards.
And then he went doink, and he was like, what the just happened? But his
I
ball
thought it
was
was
like,
good.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
When he kicked it, I was like, oh, that's right inside the upright. And it just knuckled. And it doing.
He's a knuckleballer because he's used to, playing in Cincy, playing in Pittsburgh, playing in who else is in their division?
The
Browns, Cleveland. That air, that wind up there, it's always howling, so they kind of have to knuckle it because they're just trying to send it right through the air instead of. So you saw in the second one, I mean, he just kicked it like, all right, the wind's not blowing here that yet. He just kicked it straight, perfect, all that stuff. But yeah, it was a kicking party.
It was.
This week was a kicking party.
And we were texting back and forth. What?
Yeah.
What is going on?
And we have another kicking thing we got to get into a little bit later on in the podcast with our beloved Chiefs.
Yeah. Hey, I was impressed.
Yeah. They played good. You want to take over the next one? Talk about them a little bit.
We have not really. This man set me up.
Oops.
Yeah, we have the Pats at the Dolphins.
Yes.
Man, I don't even know where to start with this one.
What do you think, though? I mean, what are your thoughts after this game? We didn't get to see a whole lot of it. We don't have.
My thoughts after this game.
Hey, Tyreek Hill got the most receptions, most targets.
This is my thoughts. They're gonna try to force feed Tyreek and forget about the other people they have on their team. Tua's gonna get tested. I don't care what every game they play. Someone's gonna say, "Hey, your receivers. I don't care who your receivers are. You got to be able to get them the ball." And I don't think you're gonna be able to get them the ball. The Patriots look lost from what I saw. Mac Jones is hurt. I don't know how bad it is.
Speaking of injuries, real quick, breaking news to the podcast. Jerry Jones says Cowboys' Dak Prescott needs surgery, expected to be out several weeks after suffering right hand injury.
Oh. Now, we were talking during the game. I said, dude, that doesn't look like that.
Yeah, that doesn't
That
look
looks
good.
nasty.
Yeah, you came over here. Yeah, those are never pretty. You never, and you being
There's
a
nothing
quarterback.
worse than hitting your hand on another person, like on another person, period, when you're throwing motion. Hitting on a helmet's the worst, but coming through on someone's hand and it just jams your thumb back in there, your fingers, yeah.
And that, like, we saw him, get hurt with the ankle, and everybody's like, how's he going to come back? Your hand's worse because that's the first thing you have to rely on, and then that first throw in the pocket when it's kind of collapsed, you're going to kind of do that kind of thing. You're not going to let the ball go.
That sucks.
It does suck. That's tough. But yeah, like you were saying, Mac Jones injured. We'll see. The biggest thing with the Patriots is they never got going. They got down in the goal or on the goal line. They threw that pick. That we know the Dolphins defense is going to be good.
Yeah,
which is going to help out this offense a lot.
Good, yep.
They're going to be good. But I mean, shit. They're also, we got to remember they're in the AFC.
And I also want to see the Dolphins play. What do they play next? The Ravens. I'll get a better look.
Yeah.
Next week when they play the Ravens, I want to see them play against a more explosive offense. I just don't think the Patriots have an explosive offense.
Yeah, no.
So it makes their defense look good.
That's
And I'm
the
not
thing.
hating on the Dolphins because of that,
No.
but that just is what it is.
I mean, we agree. Tua played pretty good. He threw the ball 33 times, so he only 10 incompletions, 270 yards, 1 touchdown. That's good.
But I hate it. I like Mike McDonald. I like their coach.
I like McDaniels. Yeah,
McDaniels.
Yeah, Mike McDaniels is
he's funny. That dude is hilarious.
He's a nerd.
He is a super nerd.
I was listening to the Stupodity. It's Stu Goss's podcast.
Yeah.
And they had Mina Kimes on it, and Billy Gill was on there, and he was like, "Mina, you do understand that Mike McDaniels is the male version of you."
Yeah.
And Mina starts laughing. You know how she laughs and snorts.
Right.
Mina, if you listen to this, we would love for you to come on the podcast.
my gosh,
we love
love
you.
you.
Awesome.
I love you.
But like, it was one of those. I wanted like it was a podcast, so I couldn't call in. But I want to be like, hey, Mina. Does that mean like if Mike McDaniels is successful in the NFL, we'll see you be the first female coach in the NFL? Because
Right.
if you're the same person, you're going to be able to do
100%.
Yeah. So that would be amazing to see. But yeah, love you, Mina Kimes. But you know, Tua look good. It's one of those. I think the Patriots.
Yeah.
When that pick happened, because you don't test their D-backs if you're Mac. It happened. They were marching it down the field.
Yeah.
If that pick doesn't happen, we might be sitting here talking about a different kind of thing
Right.
or a closer game because Patriots score. The Dolphins only scored one offensive touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
They scored on that turnover. They scored on another turnover that Mac Jones got hit, and then we miss you, Melvin Ingram.
Yeah.
Picked it up, scoop and score. But they get that touchdown. They're on the board. They're able to run the ball more with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson like they have been, and if they can sit there and slow you down and let them find a hole and bust through. They don't have to sit there and throw it 30 times. I mean, I think if you can get Mac Jones to throw it 20 to 25 times and run the ball more than it looks like Damian Harris had 9, Ramondre Stevenson had 8, so 17 times. If they could run the ball 20, 25 times and pass 20, 25 times and have it more balanced,
way better. Yep.
They're going to like that a lot more. But, when they're down to the Dolphins, and I mean, they're down 7
Mac
to
Jones
20.
throwing the ball 30 times is not what you want.
That's not what Bill wants yet.
Yeah.
Especially when they don't quite know what they got going on. Cat is going bonkers down here. Anyway, Tyreek, 8 receptions, 94 yards. Waddle, 4 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. It was one of those that if Waddle didn't bust through there, though, he wouldn't have that many yards.
No.
So they're gonna take Tyreek Hill. They did. Chase Edmonds did carry the ball 12 times, which is pretty neat. I did not see that. Only 25 yards, though, so 2.5 yards a carry. Actually, a little bit less than that. 2.3. Not going to be pretty good for him. But the Patriots will be taking on the Steelers next week at the Steel Curtain, where they are 1-0, and that's going to be. I just think it's always Mike Tomlin, kind of the GOAT in the league. He's kind of an older coach now.
Yeah.
Versus Bill Belichick, you're going to love to see the chess match between those two, especially when neither of them really quite know what their offense is going to look like more than the year either.
But I'm more worried about the defense for the Steelers now. Everybody's
down.
Yeah.
It sucks. You hate to see that.
I do.
The Dolphins.
Because, hey, that Defensive Player of the Year pick was looking.
That was.
He was dominant.
I was almost going to write it in stone. Like, I was going to start chiseling in the stone I have down here because I was like, that's
TJ
easy.
Watt said, hey, get on my back.
I was going to put Watt, Defensive Player of the Year 2022 down there, like, easy.
Easy.
Like, go ahead and give me my
money.
trophy. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and put my money in the little slot down there. But the Dolphins have the Ravens next, who are 1-0, and Lamar Jackson, he's playing for his contract. 3 tutties a day.
Yep.
I mean, he's
Hey.
about that life.
Hey.
Should have
okay.
paid that man. Hey, I'm on Lamar Jackson.
Pay that man.
When you don't pay
his
somebody,
money.
give me my money. When you start messing with somebody's money, that's when I become their friend.
Yeah.
Get him that money.
Get him that money.
So Lamar, if you need an agent, I'll get you your
You
money.
hear us.
Yeah, we'll represent
Holler at
you.
us.
Yeah, holler at us. Moving on next to the game that ended up not being bad, but there was a few times, like you said, Blankenship, if he would have kicked the field goal and made it, this would have been a really bad beat for me because I had like a 16 parlay. The Panthers lost first to the Browns when I guess my mom was actually sending me messages. She was mad. She's kind of a big Baker fan. Browns 26 at Panthers 24. Panthers got up. There's like a minute 20 left. I sent you the video.
Okay, so I've only that roughing the passer was bonkers. I remember Tom Brady got that call against the Chiefs in the AFC playoffs, and I even know that pass interference because someone just brushed his helmet.
Yeah,
and it just boom.
And from the angle that I sent you and the angle that we both looked, I don't know how much they actually even hit his helmet.
I think he got hit. Yeah. I think his tackle hit
some
him.
of those, like, I don't know what you call it. I understand there should be some intent to it.
Yes.
When you're bull rushing the tackle and you're pushing the tackle back into them,
Right.
and they can sit there and fight you back, and you're doing anything in the world to stop the quarterback, hitting him in the head, like that's not doing anything. Like
Right.
a tap or like
He can't.
Now, like if you can tell if somebody comes through the line and they just start closed fist smacking
right.
you across
That's
the face
different.
kind of thing, like that's a penalty.
But
like,
you can tell, like, you can't punish a defender when he's just dominating the tackle, and then he's trying to prevent
when
you
he's
from throwing
dominating
the
the tackle without
Yeah.
his hands and
and
still
trying to
pushing
prevent you from
backwards.
throwing the
Yeah.
football, and when he comes down, he brushes you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all the rules are to protect the
It
quarterback.
is. I mean, that's the new rules. That's kind of that happened, and then the Brown. What was really interesting, that was one. So that would have been like 15 yards they got there,
Yep.
but then they got a thing. They put it right on the borderline, which ended up not being the borderline for their kicker. I forgot the kicker's name, but that dude has a bomb.
Yeah.
He would have made it from 70. I think it was a
dude.
63-yard field goal or
And
something.
they
like
just hit the net like
Yeah, like,
midway
yeah.
up there on the.
But that's neither here nor there. But like, what happened is they got the ball right on what they said that the target field goal line was.
Yeah.
And then Jacoby got the ball, faked it, took like 2 steps back, like looked, and then he threw it to the
Spiked
ground.
it. I gotta look that up.
They threw a flag.
Yeah.
And then like the Panthers are all like clapping all that. The ref goes and says there is no penalty as he faked the spike and then spiked the ball.
Right.
And you can hear the Panthers quarterback or the Panthers like defensive tackle say, "What the fuck?" Like he was shocked. Like there's no way because I mean it was like 2 or 3
So
seconds.
like in the NFHS National Federation of High School Sport, like the rules, you can stop the clock from shotgun, but it has to be immediately at the like as soon as you get it, you have to spike
Yeah.
it. You can't get it, wait a beat, look around,
and then say, "Oh shit,
yeah, then that's intentional
because
grounding.
somebody's already rushing."
Right.
And that's almost what happened because he was under center though.
Yeah.
He got it, and I didn't even see a fake. Like he turned to the right,
and look like he was
like yeah, he was like
it's almost like he was
halfway-
unsure. It's
Yeah.
like, am I supposed to run a play or am I supposed to?
And then he
spike
said,
it?
"Oh," and then threw it down
Right.
real quick. Like
I don't think that's, in my opinion, I don't think that's legal. But
I
don't know
think
all
that
the
should have
NFL
been
rules.
intentional grounding.
Yes.
Because if not, and he rolls out, and then the defensive line's like, "Oh, it looked like he was going to," and they don't go after him.
Yeah.
They're the idiots.
Yes.
So like you can't start allowing like it's kind of like the Kenny Pickett last year where he did the fake slide and they changed it in college rules.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why they have the intentional grounding on a fake spike because when you start letting things go like that, then your quarterback is going to get unnecessary rough because they're going to just blast through you and be like, "Well, sorry." Like you almost know as a defensive player to prevent going hard because all right, we know they're going to fake spike it.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Catch
be
my
able.
breath here,
Don't
here
do
we go.
anything stupid to get another penalty.
The only
So-
people who need to be paying attention are defensive backs.
yeah. So like they're like, oh, but if you start letting them kind of get away with those little things,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a D tackle. It's like, all right, fuck it. I know he's gonna fake spike it, but I'm gonna grab his face mask and just throw him to the ground because who cares?
Yeah.
Game's over.
Right.
Like so, it's just one of those like you got to watch out like the way. And I think when that ref came on there, I don't know. I guess you're an official, but you know me and my officials. I don't really.
Yeah, he don't
I
really
see
like
a lot
him.
of stuff where I'm like, come on now.
Yeah. But
Come
like,
on now.
as I understand the rule, and I'm no professional or anything like that, is it has to be immediate. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we both can agree that it was probably not
It was
immediate.
not immediate. Yeah.
And then like so, I would like to see the 2-minute report.
Was that the same? Was that the same officiating crew as the Texas Alabama game?
We're not much of a college football anymore,
Yeah.
but
I understand. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
I know you know what I'm saying.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, it didn't end up mattering, so I wasn't as mad. But at the time, I was pissed off because like, well, I had a 6-pick $50 free bet would have hit like 1,100. I sent you the
Yeah, you did.
yeah. So when the Panthers lost that, I was like, well, great. But then this game happened. Colts Texans. There was a futures bet of a tie in the NFL this year. And it's one of those, it's like the green on the roulette wheel. You might as well just throw like a 25
Yep.
cents or something on it because if it
hits,
you're going to get a lot more than what you
Yeah.
put on. I didn't do anything, and sure as shit, Colts 20, Texans 20. How the Colts got back there, very impressive.
yeah.
How the Colts didn't win it, have no idea. How the Colts even got there to start with, what the hell?
Bro. Well, I'll tell one thing. Davis Mills was a little better today than I thought he was going to be.
He is pretty good. And
the Texans-
they did say that him and Brandon Cooks
Yeah.
were working on it this offseason.
But as they say, a tie is counts as like a half a win. Is that what they say? in
Yep,
the-
half a win. So it's
They
almost
got-
like a participation trophy thing because I always remember ties like kissing your sister,
Yeah.
which I'd never understood because I just assumed like if
So they.
kissing your sister. There's nothing good about kissing your sister.
I almost said, are they kissing their stepsister?
Well, see that there's a difference. Like, it could be okay, kind of thing. But kissing your actual sister, there's nothing good in that. That's incest. That's weird.
Oh yeah,
that's some. No,
well,
we might have some listeners out there.
Moving.
Yeah,
well, let's keep it moving.
Let's keep it moving. Yeah, I can't wait to see Pat McAfee tomorrow because. He's a Colts fan. I think he's more of a I think he's secretly a closet Pittsburgh fan more because that's where he's from. But like the Colts, it's going to be hilarious.
Their Overreaction Monday is going to be the best.
Because the even better is Carson Wentz won.
Yes, so Carson Wentz won, and the Colts tied.
Yeah, and and
Carson Wentz won in fashion.
That's the thing we did see though that with home dogs in Week 1, I think the record's like 19-4 that they cover. And a lot of them do win, too. Mm-hmm. And that kind of goes on with, there's some teams. Like the Jets, they're not quite there yet.
No.
But the Falcons, I did tell you that I kind of want to pick the Falcons.
You did.
But I said I definitely, if I'm picking anything in this game, I'm picking the Falcons to cover.
Yep, and they did, motherfuckers.
And they looked almost like, they looked pretty good. If it wasn't for Will Lutz, they would have.
Yeah. I mean, the Saints, I almost feel like the Saints should have lost.
They should have. Yeah. But Jameis Winston got LASIK surgery, so
LASIK Winston came and played in the fourth quarter.
He did. Michael Thomas showed up, not one but two now. He got 2 of them things.
Michael Thomas, did you see him after the game? Mm-hmm. He was hype.
What would have been hilarious though is if I kind of wish the Saints would have lost because Keyshawn's always talking about his nephew. KJ and Will in the morning would have been hysterical because I know Jay would have been dogging Keyshawn. But now Keyshawn gets to go on there and be like, "See, I told you so," kind of thing. But the Falcons, I did say, I did have the Saints, but I think I ended up changing it. But like on my paper, I was like, they could go down.
Yeah.
There was a couple things that I saw in that game that I was like, what are the Falcons even doing? Like one of them, what's his name? The Mormon, their quarterback, backup, Taysom Hill.
Oh yeah.
You like how everybody's a Mormon. Oh, the Mormons cost me on Saturday night.
I hit that one. I'm sorry, I hit on that. I picked Baylor.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Did Baylor win?
They covered.
That's right. The Mormons didn't. Yeah. No, there's other games. I got so many bets out that it's
bro.
Tough. But it's fun.
It's addictive.
Thank you.
This sports bet. I'm gonna put this real quick. The sports betting has ruined fantasy football for me. I don't
even care about fantasy. I know you said
shit.
I completely forgot about fantasy football. I got all my fantasy. I'm like,
right now with the games ended today. I'm 4-1 in fantasy football. Didn't even check it.
I
didn't even set a lineup.
That ain't life changing money now. No. That's 17 weeks from now. Yeah.
This MGM bet. There's bet MGM and DraftKings and FanDuel.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're there. Anyway, Falcons. Taysom Hill, holy shit, we squirreled really bad. We went from talking about the Falcons to Taysom Hill to BYU to covering spreads to back to covering.
But it was all connected.
It was all connected.
It was all connected.
Conspiracy theorist.
But the red string over here is spinning around. Bring it back.
Yes. But the Falcons looked kind of dumb because you know what Taysom Hill is in there for.
Yeah.
He's a wildcat quarterback. It was like 3rd and 3. The dude gained like 60 yards or 50 yards on one play. He literally ran ball, didn't even fake it. Just boom, sweep to the right, gone. And I'm like, how do you not know that that's what's coming if you're the Falcons? So there's still things they're working on. Mariota did not look bad.
No,
Cordell Patterson picked up right where he left off last year.
Yep.
At like 31, actually might be older than that, years old. Still out here running the rock. With 84.
I feel like he was in school and I was in school.
It's getting to feel like that on some of these people.
Yeah.
Because it's true for some of them.
Right.
Well, Tom Brady was like, is he your dad's age?
Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl when I was a junior in high school or sophomore or something crazy like that.
I'm pretty sure Charles Woodson has been when he retired. That was that was a dude that I thought was awesome.
This was gonna make me like.
And they went to school together.
There's dudes that are my age. Like Adrian Peterson is my age and is now.
Speaking of Adrian Peterson, just got knocked the fuck out by Le'Veon Bell.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was. Ugly.
Boom, and then his back leg was behind him. He's like, and he tried to get up. He's like, I'm fine. And like Le'Veon, Le'Veon, he's probably gonna go make a rap song. And
yeah.
But those dudes, they looked like they kind of fit the part as boxers, as just like the way they look. Like people look like Deontay Wilder, and out there, like, damn,
these dudes are athletes.
They are.
Yeah.
Except maybe Jake Paul. Maybe Jake. Yeah. That was bad for the brand.
So bad for the brand.
The brand.
That was so bad for the brand. Got basketball players out there looking bad. You know what else I'm saying too? Just read between the lines.
He can say it, I can't.
Yeah.
You should get it now. Anyway, Speaking of home dogs, Ravens, Jets. The Ravens went in and did what we thought they were going to do.
The Jets are just
went a little
bad.
slow there for a while, but Lamar ended up having 3 tutties. Threw one to Bateman. Bombs.
Time out with the Jets. When I turned it on, I knew Joe Flacco was the quarterback, but like it didn't register. I'm like, who is number 19? This dude looks goofy. Who is that? I was like, oh, she was Joe Flacco. Hot garbage.
Shit. Yeah, he spit hot fire, man. So both revenge teams or both revenge quarterbacks 0-2 against their other teams. So it looks like as of now, those teams were smart in getting rid of them.
Yeah. I think the Panthers will still be okay.
I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah.
I think so. With the going back to that game real quick, we didn't really get into it that much. Baker did throw for 235, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. McCaffrey only had 33 yards, but like there at the end, it looked like when they started scoring, it looked like they really clicked for him.
Yeah.
Like I think they kind of figured it out. And the play that really changed it was Baker like bobbled the snap or whatever. It was a bad snap, something. McCaffrey just picked it up and got most of that 33 yards on like one play. And then he ended up scoring, jumping over. I mean, but like that's kind of when it clicked because Baker started hitting Robbie Anderson, started, working it down the field.
Right.
It's almost like Baker is really good at the 2-minute drill. Like when you need something, that's when he's there. So just get down or have a game plan at the start. I mean, and that's kind of just, I think they're going to be all right.
He tries to thrive in chaos.
Yeah, exactly. And they play the Giants next. That'll be a good game, even though
the Giants going to go 2-0. Stay tuned next week. Or I guess
on Wednesday you'll find out. Wednesday we'll give you those picks. Browns with the Jets. They're going to be 2-0. That's going to be part of our overreaction or the truth segment we're going to have here in a little bit about the Browns. I do have a question for you.
Don't let the Browns be in playoff position when old massage seeker comes back.
And back to the Browns with Kareem Hunt. Like all these narratives that I was like, man, this is really going to doom their team. They went ahead and showed Kareem Hunt like, hey, we want you here. 11 carries, 46 yards, so he got half the carries that Chubb had, but he got both the touchdowns as the running back today. 4 receptions, 24 yards. They lined him up as fullback, and I mean wide open. The Panthers, I don't know how you don't know when there's Chubb and Hunt back there, Chubb and Inner Hunt, that you don't say, oh shit, we might want to cover both these guys.
Right.
Because why Kareem Hunt's not in here to block as a fullback. Like he's going to be doing something. Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe we should be up there in the booth saying, hey, you might want to watch 27 over there. What? Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
I thought that was a full. I thought he was just a regular fullback.
I thought that was a damn fullback. What the? I mean, his quads. If you see his quads, I saw him.
He might look like a fullback.
I saw him IRL at Top Golf back when he was with the Chiefs. I mean, he's about the same height as me, but like his quads are bigger than my stomach. Like, but if his quads are that big, I really don't want to see Dillon's. AJ Dillon's. Because they call him Quadzilla.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Or say quads. You know what I'm saying?
He looked pretty good
today,
too.
He did.
We got to get into those games. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we were on Ravens, Jets, Ravens, Lamar. I like them. That's a good game for them to get started. I think that kind of proves to the world that, hey, we had injuries last year, and they just still don't have everybody healthy. Peters isn't there yet. So we'll see how they go. They go next week. I think we already talked about where they're at, but they play the Dolphins. So that's going to be a good matchup for both of them to really see where they're going to be. Possible 2 playoff teams from there. And then, of course, you have the Jets going to the Browns. So you're probably starting off 0-2.
Yeah.
Because Zach Wilson ain't going to be back for at least 3 to 4 games. And the Browns defense, like we got so lost in the fact of Baker Mayfield revenge game that we forgot the Browns have probably one of the best running back tandems and a really good fucking defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were like, oh, Baker revenge. There's no other quarterback you want besides Baker revenge.
Yeah.
Here. And
the Browns said, hey, hold up, not so fast.
Hold up, wait a minute. We can get rid of him because we are okay with what we have. And they did have the massage seeker, and they thought they would have him. But yeah, anyway. Clown Town and Carson Wentz. There for a while, I thought Clown Town, if you don't know, watch Pat McAfee show. I thought the Jaguars were going to do it to Carson Wentz again.
Dude, I did. They finally started looking. Trevor Lawrence finally started looking like who I thought he was going to be.
ETN was healthy.
Yeah.
Zay Jones was out there. I mean,
Christian Kirk was out there.
Yeah. They were all looking good. But Carson Wentz kind of does what he does. 4 tutties after you're like at the beginning of the game, you're like, why did they trade for him? And then you're like, and then you look at your stats like, wait, this motherfucker got 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, yeah. Throw an interception. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get the ball back and go ahead and win this game. I'm like, what is going on?
Exactly. 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter when, they were down.
Yeah.
22-14 with 9:36 to go. They scored, and then they scored again with 1:46. And the balls that he dropped to Jahan Dotson.
Dude, that was so sick.
Yes. The end zone on the left, beautiful. And Jahan to catch that, but the one that he caught, the one that he caught deep down the field to kind of get going was, just like drop it in the bucket. Like, that was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you sat there, I think it was to McLaurin. Yeah, it was to Scary Terry. And
Terry, yeah.
You're just like, oh, that's why people wanted Carson Wentz.
That's the MVP Carson Wentz
we can settle his ass down to where he's not trying to throw off his back foot when he's got 11 people on him.
Right.
Well, actually, that would make sense. You'd almost want him to throw off his back foot with 11 people because then somebody's wide open down the field.
But we get what you're saying.
Yeah. When they're all in his face and they've still got people covered 3-man deep and he's throwing the ball, you don't want that. But, like, if you can get him in a good spot, and that's why Ron Rivera is just good at, like, finding the perfect – he's grimy.
Right.
And that's kind of what Wentz needs. He's grimy. I think Frank gets a little too analytical. Like, Frank kind of showed in that game with the Colts, like,
trying to do
maybe
a little
he's
too much.
Not like maybe Frank might need to be on the hot seat because he's just it's bad when you get the name as a quarterback whisperer. I think that's kind of what happened with Peterson for the Jaguars.
Yep,
he got that he's the quarterback guru. He knows what he's doing, and then you look bad if it doesn't happen, or you look like oh that quarterback's gone. We got to get no quarterback. The next thing you know, we're revolving quarterbacks. But Wentz gets his old coach. Jacksonville, I thought they had it for the most part. They led this whole game after halftime. They were down. They made a comeback. It's one of those like they made the comeback. And you're like, oh shit! All right, well,
there we go.
Jaguars did it, and then that's what you get. Cardiac Commanders, Cardiac Carson, 2 sprains, whatever you want to call them. Said, nah, I'm throwing 4 today.
Yeah.
What if he was out there like Mahomes?
Dude,
I would have smacked shit out of him. Get your ass off this field. Yeah. But it's unbelievable. I'm going to look at his stat line. 313, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Is he MVP?
Let's not get crazy.
He threw for more yards than the perennial MVP that everybody's already given it to, Josh Allen. Last time I checked, more touchdowns than Josh Allen.
Hey, we'll see next week. We'll overreact next week on that one.
I'm just saying, Carson Wentz is the truth. He's back.
If it's the Carson Wentz that was the year they won a Super Bowl, that regular season Carson Wentz was top notch.
We're gonna find out with Carson with the Commanders because they have the Lions next, which they win that they'll be sitting pretty 2-0.
Hey,
maybe in their division.
Hey, now what happened with the Cowboys tonight? Are the Commanders number 2 in the division behind the Eagles?
That's gonna fuck me because I had the Cowboys at number 3. No, I'm good.
You're good
as long as they can just.
Well, the Giants won too.
That's what I wanted to get into is because the Cowboys are actually in last in their division.
Yes,
unbelievable. Not really. Saw it coming.
I mean, it's not
saw it coming, but now it's even more like, well, fuck. Like I made a bet with my buddy Devin. He's probably gonna have to pay up because they're definitely not gonna win more than 9 games this year.
Oh, yeah, no.
Especially if he's out for 5 games. But the Commanders, they actually play their division really early. They go Lions, which isn't in their division, but then they go Eagles, Cowboys back to back. So we'll find out kind of how that division goes in a couple weeks. And then of course the Jags, they are going to be going to play the Colts. So actually, Colts are going to Clown Town first this year. That'll be interesting because actually the Colts are up in their division because they have half a win.
That's right.
Half a star. We could have a maniacal pillow fight later, according to the longest yard.
Yes.
I'm about to go cut somebody, get my rep up. Anyway, that is all for the 1 o'clock games. Everybody, if your team is 1-0, congratulations. If your team's 0-1, it's just week 1.
It's just week 1.
Relax.
You still suck. No,
yeah. Well, as I say, relax. We're going to get into our 3 o'clock game, segment 2 of the show, sponsored by, us, ourselves.
Yep, that's right.
Ghost Energy Drink. If you guys want to throw it up there, you guys can. We always still drinking them like always.
Swedish Fish. If you haven't had it, check it out.
I had orange cream this morning. Got the Swedish Fish in the fridge for tomorrow morning. Don't want to drink one now. Be up till 1 and then have to back to back. But they are delicious. They don't have sugar, so they are pretty. They're not bad for you. Only 5 calories. Amazing. Love you, Ghost Energy. But segment 2, RELAX. Y'all better figure it out because the Vikings went ahead and said, "Hey, this is our town. We're going to let you know that we're here."
If you listen to the pod, I told you.
Yeah,
I told you.
You did.
They're coming. Justin Jefferson did whatever he wanted out there.
Justin Jefferson was and
he gritted all over the field when you guys.
Rodgers had praise for him. Did say he is now officially he has moved on from Devontae Adams. Said Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah,
hands down.
How many? He 184 or something like that. Last time I stopped watching, he had 184.
The game was probably over by then because I mean it was over from the start. Like as soon as that rookie you
dropped that ball,
yes, Rodgers was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jefferson finished with 184, 9 receptions, 2 tutties.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those games. There's not much you can take for it. Green Bay just burn the tape. You know you're going to see him later. New coach, so maybe it's kind of the same thing that I talked about with the Dolphins, that maybe they're going to throw everything out there at the start. I thought the Packers were going to be one of the better defenses. It is kind of tough, obviously, when you got Jefferson and Thielen and Dalvin Cook.
That's a lot of weapons out there.
Dalvin, 20 carries, 90 yards. Jefferson, 184. I mean, I'm sure Thielen was up there. But it's just one of those things, like when you run into that monster at the start, usually defenses have the higher advantage on the.
That's true.
But not
today.
Not for this game and not for the Chiefs Cardinals. Thielen 3 for 36, 4 targets. Jefferson, they gave him all the targets, but Kevin O'Connell, is that his name? I think that's the head coach for the
I believe so.
The Vikings now. So they look really good.
They did.
We can't overreact for that as much as we can't overreact for the Packers because I think they lost week 1 last week. Last year looked really bad. Ended up making the playoffs, looking just fine and winning that division. So
I'm not gonna overreact, but I'm gonna overreact on the Minnesota and say I told you guys.
Yeah, got to get it while the getting's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question for you. I got to remember if my uncle sent it to me. I'll look at it.
Okay.
Which he was wrong, by the way. Stephen A. Smith was wrong. Shocker.
What was Stephen A. Smith saying? We'll get to it.
He set himself up to be wrong regardless, just so you know. Like, it's just doing Stephen A. Smith things kind of thing. But the next game, Giants-Titans. Day Balls is in the building.
I loved him going
it's
for 2.
What I wanted KU to do Saturday when they were playing.
Right.
He ended up winning, but like when you have it 4th and 1 and they had Saquon Barkley, they had their offense who is kind of known more as their number ones over their defense. They said, you know what, fuck it, we're going for it.
Yep.
We're not going to sit here and we shouldn't even be here kind of thing. Let's get this going. Yes. Let's get into it. And he was dancing in the
Hey, and if they would have lost, I would have still had so much respect for you trying to go for the win right there.
Absolutely. And you can see it on the sideline, like when he did it, like a lot of the Giants players started like clapping, like, let's go. Like, they were ready for it. They said, fuck it, let's do it.
Sometimes you can't put up to the players because they'd go for 2
every time. Yeah, that's why Brandon Staley can't be a head coach.
Yes.
Of this league.
So, question: do you think him going for 2 had any indication or play into all the missed field goals and extra points?
Very well could have. He's probably like, hey, we're not going to be like these 1 o'clock games.
He's like, I'm just going to go ahead and go for 2 because I don't trust any of these people.
Yeah, because, I mean, a lot of those field goals were 30 chip shots. They were shots that, should have.
Yeah, that's your extra points are from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like it because it's Brian Dable, but we have both decided that his name is Daballs.
Daballs.
Daballz.
I'll say one thing. The Giants' defensive backs tried to give that game away. They got 3
they were holding
calls on the.
And if it wasn't for a missed field goal, they would have.
Yes.
Yeah. But they rallied from 13 down. Some of the Giants you haven't really seen doing. And it was funny because, like, Daballs is not putting up with any shit.
No.
Daniel Jones threw that disgusting pick in the end zone. And he went over there and started chewing him out. Daniel Jones was like, what the hell? And like, I guarantee he's like, hey, fucker, I had Josh Allen. I made him look like a superstar.
Right.
You're going to start listening to me, and you're going to cut that stupid shit out, or you're going to be out of here.
We're going to take care of this
real quick.
Ball.
Yeah. Real quick. But yeah, it's I was wanting to look up Derrick Henry, 21 carries, 82 yards. I mean, that's a Derrick Henry thing. He's going to get the ball a lot. Tannehill didn't look bad.
No, he
266, 2 tutties. Kenneth Phillips 66. Quite literally, just threw that out there. Wasn't even looking. Phillips 66 had 6 receptions for 66 yards.
Oh, wow.
Phillips 66.
There's a lot of 6s in that.
Too many. Sterling Shepard back from injury, 2 receptions, 71 yards, and the tutty for the Giants. But I think we figured out how the Giants go. If you can have Barkley in the backfield healthy, you're going to be in a lot more games.
They look different.
18 carries, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, and it's one of those, like, when Barkley gets out in the open field, you ain't trying to tackle him.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he's just a brick shithouse. And if he can stay healthy, the Giants could surprise some more teams.
They could.
Because they already surprised a team who we both said we're going to take a step back. And I guess technically the Colts are. Actually, are the Colts still first in the division with a tie?
Let's see here.
Titans,
Colts, Texans, Jaguars.
Houston, Jaguars. Yes. They're first place with a tie.
Who's the
Colts, Texans, Jaguars, and then the Titans.
The Titans, yeah.
All 0-1 besides them. They're in first place.
First place. Here you go.
Hey, now they probably end up won't be able to do it because of the tie. But I did pick them as most wins in the NFL season because of the division they're in.
Yeah.
The tie might hurt it or might help it.
Yeah, could. Never know.
13.5 wins is still more than 13.
That's true.
I wonder if that works. I don't know. It might come down
Vegas
to a
is
tie.
like, we don't have halves.
Yeah,
in
actually,
these.
nobody gets it this year. Titans, we both decided they kind of were probably taking a step back this year. This, again, we can't overreact, but we told you so.
Yeah. I we told you.
I don't want to say I'm right, but I mean, it looks like they're 0-1 and we're kind of right. Now, they'll probably be in the playoffs because they have Derrick Henry. They'll figure it all out. But it's dude, I saw Derrick Henry. I think it was 45 for the Giants.
Oh, dude, he jumped over dude and got blasted.
I'd never seen Derrick Henry get that hit that hard and get knocked down like that. I was like, that was kind of like one of those big men fall down. Big man, not feel good.
Yeah.
That don't feel good.
That
kind of
hurts
thing. That's
big
like,
man.
it's like, wow. Like, he didn't get the stiff arm out there on that guy.
No,
that
he
guy,
didn't.
Like, if I'm that guy, I'm probably like, hey, can we switch jerseys? I want you to sign this. I knocked you out.
Yes.
I got you off both your feet. Now, Brandon, you might have been jumping, but I still
got you. I got you.
That was like one of those, like, when last year when Gronk got hit and was out for like 3 or 4 games because of the ribs. Like, you didn't ever see Gronk get hit like that. And you're just like,
that just made me hurt thinking about
exactly.
it again.
Me too, a little bit. But it's one of those, like, Henry just like got hit and you're like, oh, I can get hit. Like, so maybe this is the end of Henry being King Henry.
We'll see about that.
We will see about that. But it's going to be overreaction. Titans and Bills. There's a
Titans. Oh, that's what they get next?
But this is one of those, the Titans. Oh, that's going to be a good one on Wednesday to pick because they are going to the Bills. But if the Bills start laxing a little bit, like, hey, we just came out big, and the Titans they're hungry. We hungry. We gonna eat what you got to eat.
I still think the Bills are pretty legit.
I agree.
They're pretty legit. They might
are.
come out. I don't know, man.
They could, but it's one of those, like, if they have 4 turnovers,
because
like
Josh Allen will turn the ball over.
They will. They did that last year. Was it the Jets that played them pretty close in the first half, and the next thing you know, the Bills ended up.
We're also
putting
talking
away,
about the Bills also lost the Jaguars last year.
Yeah. I mean, you just never know.
But hey, KNC also blew a huge ass lead in the AFC Championship. So
it was fixed. Panthers played the Giants at the Giants, so Giants could go 2-0, Panthers could go 0-2, or it could be 1-1, 1-1.
There you go.
Raiders, Chargers. The only problem I hate about the Chiefs playing at 3 o'clock is they end up usually playing with the Raiders, Chargers, and then you don't get to watch the division on top of it because this was a game that, like, I really wanted to watch.
Same
just
here.
for the fact because everybody, like, any game in the AFC West should be primetime, and they should never have to play at the same time because all 4 teams are on paper going to be really good all year. So unless they're playing each other, they shouldn't play at the same time. So, like, the Chiefs should have played at 12 o'clock so you could watch these other 2 teams because it's perfect. The Broncos, you would have been able to watch every single team. 19-24. Justin Herbert, obviously, from what you heard in the first segment, he's the legend. He's great. They scored 24 points. They won the game. Sounds like a lot from our friends that Derek Carr actually kind of gave up the game. Not only brought them back, had a chance, but they also gave up the game. It would have been we feel bad for Phil. He had the over. It could have possibly got close to hitting if the Raiders didn't have a terrible 2-point conversion. Yeah. The Raiders had a terrible 2-point conversion, and then if they would have got that, it would have been 22, or it would have been 21-24.
Yep.
Then they wouldn't have had to go for a touchdown there at the end. It probably would have been tied, maybe overtime.
Yes, and then you can
Things
maybe
happen
hit it.
then. Yeah, but that didn't happen. Raiders ended up being down 5, and that's what happened. The Chargers kept it.
Yep.
But both teams, there was flashes of brilliance.
Yes.
There's some defense played, something you don't really hear in the AFC West that much.
But watching them, what I got to see, because your boy fell asleep.
Yes, if you don't know, we talked about it, that I said there is a time you try to find like a 20-minute power
that
nap.
hit me.
Trent hit it and was out. He texted me. He's like, hey, I didn't even watch a lot of these 3 o'clock games. He's like, Chiefs were up like 21 to something, and then I woke up and it was like 40. I was like, what the hell just happened kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
Even though I fell asleep.
yeah.
But like watching it, I'm like, the defense didn't scare me. And like I'm not worried. Like, oh my gosh, defense is so good. The Chiefs gonna have to really buckle down. No, I still think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think Chiefs gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Rolling up on the 12 o'clock a.m. hour here on Sunday night as we're going through all these games. But let's get to our game. Chiefs-Cardinals. I don't think we need to talk about a whole lot because the Chiefs are literally who we thought they were.
Yeah, we called it.
We've been talking about the whole time. We weren't worried about Tyreek leaving.
Nope.
We weren't worried about Mahomes. We weren't Bart Scott saying nobody fears Mahomes. I mean, if the Cardinals win this game not fearing Mahomes, y'all figured it out
What
real
did
quick.
Kyler Murray say in his post-game presser?
Didn't we got our asses kicked?
Yep.
Yeah. And this was so the score is 44-21. I think at one point it was 40. It was like 30-something to 7.
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs started kind of getting their second team in there a little bit too. This easily could have been like if the Chiefs would have stayed on the gas, they could have easily put up 60 or whatever it was.
Well,
Granted, Chandler Jones is gone. J.J. Watt was out. I don't know how much that changes though. They still had Budda Baker over there on the defense, who's a stud. The Chiefs look scary on offense because there's so much that you have to think about now. It's not like, where's Travis Kelce in the zone? Where's Tyreek Hill taking the top off?
Yeah.
It's, where's McCole Hardman running to? Where's MVS going? Why is Skylar Moore and Juju both cutting unders? Why is Travis Kelce still wide open right here? Why is Pacheco? Why is CEH still out here wide open?
Yeah.
Like, there's not enough now.
The one thing I enjoyed seeing, and they broke it down the parts I was awake, is they still ran the exact same stuff they did last year with Tyreek Hill. But like one time they ran, 3 tight ends in the game?
Yeah.
Same concepts?
They had like,
hey, same results, wide open.
They almost went old school. And
Yeah.
Forston caught a touchdown.
Yep.
And that like Forston is literally, if you're a national media, you probably don't know who Jody Forston is.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out because we're about to look like the Patriots when they had. We'll just say the guy that opens up the vault got a lot in the. I have a case. He's now R.I.P.
Yeah.
And Gronk. Is if we start running 2 tight ends with both of them, and then we can run the ball with CEH with our line. And if you watch last year, like there was one thing that the Chiefs line prided themselves on was being able to run the football and just blow the shit out of dudes. Like our boy, what is his name? They made that song about him to get him in the Pro Bowl. Our center.
It's Creed?
Creed, yeah, Creed Humphreys. There's nothing more that he loves than just being able to get to the next level. Like he got a penalty called on him. There's nothing more he loves than being able to go up and just smash you in the mouth. Like he goes looking.
No, their line is legit. That's one thing that's going to propel them. So I'm not too scared of certain defenses. Like their line is legit.
Like we have ran the same play for 3 years in a row with Kelce, with CEH. Of that little underground route.
Yeah.
But when we get down to the goal line, like I'm no longer scared like we're not going to score on the goal line because there's just so much motion and shit. You don't know where the ball's going. Like literally they run an RPO with CEH. Okay, he's out of the play because the dive's not going over there. Yep. Nope, he crossed back and it's a little flick right under easy touchdown.
That was a sweet play call.
It was.
And then another play call when he scored on he just walked in the end zone wide open. Great concept drawn up by whoever did it. B-Enemy, Nagy, Andy Reid. Sent 2 crossers, snuck CH was on the other side of the play, snuck him underneath, and then the DBs ran at each other.
Yeah.
Boom. Wide open out there.
And hey, if you didn't watch the play, there was one, the CH, when he caught the touchdown, is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. MVS can pick the shit out of people. That was a great pick. I mean,
he ran him right. He ran him dude right in the.
And he's just running like he's still wide open. And he's like, "You guys are idiots," because he's wide open over here. Like he's probably just smiling the whole time. I'm gonna get mine.
Decoy.
Yeah. Juju did look like he was a little upset though. I mean, he had 2 fumbles, and I just think
Corvette will be fine.
I think he just has to get that presence of like. It's not like when we were watching. And I kind of got with somebody on Twitter. It's not like when we're watching. Robinson run with the ball out here, run stupid and fumble on the ball. Like Juju has it high and tight, tucked, but he doesn't have the presence of somebody coming around him. Like he just needs to cover when he's getting tackled because people are
punching.
Like that's all they
a
do.
Huge
is they
thing
punch
now.
out.
Just punching out.
And he, one went out of bounds. Luckily, the other one was right before half, but he didn't really get the ball that much after that. They still try to get it to him a few times, but like I'm glad that it seems like everybody on this team is bought in. That hey. I might not get it this week, but I'm going to get mine eventually. That's
one thing for Patrick Mahomes. He's got to feel good. Drop back the pass. I can throw to anybody.
McCole Hardman, we haven't even brought him up yet, and he scored a touchdown.
Right.
There's so many people that scored a touchdown. Like he might have been bullshit. It's like, hey, it's going to be somebody else every week. Not if you keep doing this, Patrick. It's going to be at least one
You're
person
right.
every week because CEH had 2.
Look at this. Here, I got it for you. Kelsey had 8 receptions. Juju had 6. MVS had 4. CH had 3. McKinnon had 3. McCole had 3. No Gray had 1. Fortson had 1. And then Watson got targeted on play.
Yep.
Dude, that is 1,
And
2,
Kelsey
3,
had
4,
touchdowns.
5,
CEH
6,
had
7, 8, 9.
touchdowns.
Hey, that was 9. Well, for Watson, it'll say there's 8 different catches, but 9 if you said targets.
And 4 different people caught a touchdown? CEH
Yep, CH had 2. Fortson, Hardman, and Kelsey.
and Kelsey. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to my boy Dustin. Made like $400. He bet Mahomes over 300 yards passing and Kelsey to score.
Yeah.
He got it by halftime, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was easy. Yeah. And it was crazy because and it's one of those like if only, but like it popped up on MGM.
Yeah.
And it shows you like so on MGM it shows you like the teams and like you can click like whatever it's like.
Hey, that's what I'm like. Hey, you bet on MGM.
It literally showed it on MGM and it said plus 600 Travis Kelsey first time touchdown and I was like, nah I'm not gonna use a free bet on that.
Yeah.
And then sure as shit,
they scored when we were watching another game.
Yeah, well, that's my biggest thing. Is like, well, the Cardinals are probably gonna like, if the Chiefs don't win the toss, the Cardinals are gonna take the ball. They're probably get a field goal or they'll score a touchdown or something. That's what I thought. No, they deferred. I bet a team doesn't defer again because next thing you know, Chiefs are up 14.
If I'm playing, if I'm coaching, I took the ball every time I get it. I'm gonna score first.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing about playing the Chiefs is you've done that. You've seen teams jump out on the Chiefs, and then next thing you know, it's 5 minutes left in the second half or the second quarter. Mahomes drives, they score a touchdown. Okay,
boom,
cool. You guys are tied. Going to halftime. Next thing you know, Chiefs come out in the second half. They jump on you already, and then you're like playing catch up, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?" Like we had control of this game. Like so many times last year, you're like, the Chiefs are down 2 touchdowns. It's over, and then boom, boom, and you're like, "Oh, here they are."
Yep. Hey, and we even talked about the Chiefs' defense.
No, they did not. What was it? What was it going into halftime? I need to look at that.
The score?
Yeah.
It was 23-7.
It was 23-7. Does that sound right?
What's 14 plus 9?
Yep, 23-7. So it was 23-7. Chiefs scored 14 more points unanswered in the third. So going into the fourth, it was 37
to 7
before that. So
guys, math isn't my strong suit.
yeah, neither is mine. I mean, sometimes it can be.
I deal with math every day.
Like
still suck.
37-7, and then obviously that's like when you take the brakes off. Still scored 7 points in the fourth quarter. Could have been Mahomes touchdown, but we slowed it down. We're like, hey, go get you another one.
Hey,
but like Pacheco, we got to talk about him. He's in there garbage time, running like a man possessed. I think he probably had RB1 numbers in garbage time. 12 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Let me see. Oh, that's because I'm on the defense.
Yeah, 12 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So 6.2, 12, over 12 points fantasy. Like, you're like, hey, I'd take that in the standard fantasy league. I mean, these guys are – it's going to be scary.
They're going to be good.
I think you guys are
going to be good.
And I hate to be a Chiefs fan and like feel like I'm a homer, but again, like we told you so. And
now the Chiefs have a tough schedule. Will they be the number 1 seed in the AFC? Possibility. It's possible.
It's possible. I mean, we thought this was going to be a tough schedule.
I'll tell you one thing. They're making the playoffs.
They went ahead and told Arizona, like, hey, you're luckier than NFC. You ain't got to deal with us all the time.
Yeah.
But they put everybody else on notice because last I checked, nobody in our division scored enough points to beat the Chiefs.
No, they did not.
They did not. I don't even know if you add them all together if they got close to. I'm sure they're,
Hey, we still got Let's Ride. Yeah. Come on now. We still got Let's Ride out there.
They're going to be lucky if they score a tutty.
Oh, shit. They winning.
I don't believe
it. They just got to, they got to win and it's got to cover.
Exactly.
Now you make me think, maybe I should have picked the Seahawks to cover.
I just think it's one of those, like,
God,
it's at home.
What
do we know about them home dogs?
Yeah, well.
Geno Smith, they've been hiding them for a reason.
That was just like, I think Russell Wilson's going to do something tomorrow.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, so before we get into the Buccaneers-Cowboys, we were talking about the division or whatever. My Uncle Brett said, I need you guys to answer this question for me. How the Chargers score more points than any AFC West team this weekend, but then Stephen A. picks them to lose to the Raiders. That's what Stephen A. did. He said the Chargers would score the most points in their division this week, but then he picked the Raiders to beat them.
That was. I was like, when I heard it, I was like, that didn't make any sense.
It
That
don't make
confused
no
me.
sense. That's what I'm saying.
So that's Stephen A. But Stephen A. did support the Chiefs.
Yeah, he did. He did tell Bart to better chill. Well, he didn't tell Bart. Actually, he told somebody.
He told somebody else. Like, you forget they had Patrick Mahomes, but I forgot who he was talking to.
Like, as much as I like messing around with Keyshawn and like this dude like sometimes gets out there a little bit crazy, like he was one of those two. Like, I got the Chiefs. Like, what do you?
Yeah,
it's
this is my
like
thing
everybody else is
until,
picking the division. Like, until somebody beats them, how the hell are you going to pick somebody over them?
I think the Chiefs also put everybody in the AFC West on notice. It's like, hey, you come out the king, you better not miss.
Yeah, and that's why I love. Like, it sucks it's a Thursday game.
Yeah,
but I like that we're playing the Chargers on a Thursday this early in the season because you're on this high where you just stomped a team. Like, you're going to go into that game okay, not hurt or anything like that, and then you're going to have like a mini bye.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get so many days off. Like, it's
I hate it, though. I hate the Thursday night Chiefs games because it makes my weekend this Sunday kind of suck.
I love it. I love it because after the Chiefs demoralize the Chargers on live TV is the only game on, maybe the national media will be like, oh, shit. Actually, Buffalo, you were kind of cute. You were cute. Like, yeah, you got Von Miller. Sorry, guys, we forgot about Mahomes. We apologize for this. Because then I think they play on Sunday night football after that, so it's kind of like an extended bye because you play Thursday and you don't play again until that night. So it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be awesome being a Chiefs fan watching this ride.
Yes,
because Broncos country can
I'm
suck
excited.
It. Chiefs country, let's ride. Chiefs kingdom, let's ride.
That's right.
Oh God!
Real quick, before we move on from this, Justin Reed's performance as a kicker.
He missed that one.
He blasted.
But he was bombing them. I mean, we watched Pat McAfee clip.
Did you watch the clip?
Oh, yeah. Hilarious. I mean, that's what we got to get into. All these kickers missing, and then you got a safety coming in here hitting extra points.
Dude, his
that first one that he hit, and then the bombs that he hit after that, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I guess he played soccer in high school. He was a big soccer guy.
I see.
You can tell, yeah. He's got a boot. But, yeah, moving on, Buccaneers-Cowboys, another kicking game because I think they scored one touchdown. Mike Evans, unbelievable one-handed catch. But besides that, it was kind of boring.
It was. I didn't watch it.
Shout out to Phil. He had one lock, and it was the Chargers Raiders over. And then our boy Phil decided.
Phil, I love you. And we were in the car on the way to their football game, and he was like, "Lock it in, Chargers, Raiders over." I'm like, "All right, I'll ride with you."
And on paper, you're like, okay. But
and on paper, it looks good.
All these defenses in our division got better, too. So you're like, well, shit, I forgot about that until you see him on the field.
Right.
But then, like...
and then I did
I love Phil because Phil I've always said, the saying is, I've watched Barstool Sports growing up, is life's too short to bet the under. Yeah. So I'm with Phil on always bet the over.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, like, you see all this, and Phil's the same as me. Is like you see all these games, how wacky it is, how none of the overs have really hit except for, like, a few games. You get Buccaneers Cowboys, like, I'm putting 50 on it so I get my money back. Buccaneers Cowboys over.
Nope. The one over I should have bet the Chiefs, and I'm like, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Then it could get kind of weird.
And then first three drives was field goal, Buccaneers Cowboys. And
dude,
Phil
I almost put
get all these fucking field goals.
A bunch of money down, and it was a live bet during the game. It's like, hey, the next drive
will be a field goal.
And it was like plus 450.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Field goal.
You watched this game like I did when you were officiating on Thursday with the Bills. Is that I was like I kind of had that hankering. It's like, man, I think there's gonna be a turnover, and I didn't bet it. And it's like it was like plus 300, 600 every single
straight.
time. Yeah, and then so I was like, so that happened. I was like, man, it'd be crazy if 2 turnovers right next. Boom, turnover. I was like, you know what? At this point, there's probably gonna be another turnover. I should go ahead and bet it. I didn't bet it, and then next thing you know, boom. I was like, if I would have bet all of those, I would probably be done having to put money on the sports app for the rest of the season because like I would hit all those.
Yeah,
$50 free bets because I still had all my free bets.
Wow,
like, it'd
so
been
much
crazy.
money.
It'd been wild. Buccaneers Cowboys. Again, Dak Prescott's out extended period of time. That kind of ruins the Cowboys' chances. I think smashing watermelons. Mike McCarthy might be out sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
didn't
tough.
look good.
Yeah, did not. Look
what
good.
I came away from it is, hey, you guys are missing Amari Cooper, don't you?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, then again, we look at McCarthy's super stats. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think 3 receptions, 17 yards, something like that.
I mean, how did Tom look tonight? I mean, he didn't have to win.
He did enough to win. I mean, I think there was some plays he was hitting Julio deep.
Yeah. Julio's going to surprise.
I think until Godwin's back, which Godwin did go back out with an injury. Don't know what the severity of that was, but I think they're still gonna be good. I think what you saw tonight is really what the Buccaneers are gonna run on until they absolutely need Tom to do something.
Right.
I think they're gonna run the dog piss out of Leonard Fournette because you got to remember he was a workhorse when he was with Jacksonville. Like, he carried them to the playoffs.
25 carries a game.
And I think he's okay with that. He's a big dude too. Like I think he's gonna be okay with that. And you have to remember the Cowboys for as bad as I've dogged them, their defense, Micah Parsons, animal. Like they're still good on the defensive side. So
because they held the 19.
I think the Buccaneers will only look better later. I think the Cowboys, obviously, the defense is gonna have to carry them.
Yeah,
Trayvon might have to start jumping some more routes, get some interceptions, really flipping the field.
The Cowboys in trouble. That's all there is.
They are.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Maybe Cam Newton's still available.
I'm not gonna jump on that train. Not anymore. I would love to see it, but hey, Jimmy G, let's throw it out there.
This could be like this.
This could be a series.
Now that you say that could be a breaking news.
I'm telling you right now,
you might have to do it because he's in a favorable backup money role now, so it could be that. Now that you say that might be big. That might be breaking news tomorrow,
dude.
And they might get a haul for him. But after what you saw from the Niners, like you want to move on with Trey Lance, but a lot of the players were happy they kept Jimmy G because it's like, look, if Trey gets hurt, we know we have this proven guy behind us.
And we're going to be just fine.
We're good enough that we can do this. Like
because he's been there.
If you do that, you're kind of staving your now for the future.
Yeah.
If Trey Lance doesn't pan out or gets hurt or something like that.
But then it goes back to if the Cowboys are offering me draft picks. And
then also what happens? Jimmy G comes out really impresses. Is this a? I mean, Jimmy G's older than Dak, but like, it kind of gets into that Bledsoe Brady thing. Like, what do you do, kind of thing. Like, or Nick Foles.
It's over. No,
Carson Wentz.
It's the same thing. Dak went through with Tony Romo. It's like, hey,
we know you're probably better, but like, you've made the team better. What do we do, kind of thing.
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
It would be very interesting.
That would be very interesting.
Porn star Jimmy with Jerry Jones.
Hey,
maybe soon.
Porn star Jimmy and Big D.
What you see? Yeah. Anyway, let's get into a Monday night preview. As much as I like to joke,
let's ride. That's all.
I think the Broncos got it. I almost want to bet the Seahawks to cover though, because them home dogs have. It's just one of those, like, the national narratives have been kind of off. Like, but then they haven't. Like, they've been off about how good the Bills are going to look, but then obviously they ended up looking good. But like, if you watch it as a real fan, you're like, there's some glaring issues that they still kind of had, turning the ball over, all that. The Broncos, they probably are going to win. Yeah. But I'm letting you know right now, if the Seahawks somehow pull it off, it is going to be hysterical.
Yeah. Geno Smith that pulls this off.
Wild.
Yes.
Oh shit! I did say that. Damn. I forgot in our fantasy draft that I did say something about Dak Prescott getting hurt. And
you did. I remember that now.
God, I hate to be Nostradamus, but told you so, Colton.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough.
Right.
Damn, I kind of feel bad now.
I also need to text Potter because he always say, "Hey, first game of the season, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes tears their ACL, and then off like."
He says that?
Yeah. It's a joke, but like, hey, that's what you
still
get.
Damn.
Hey, that's what you get. That's why Dak is out. That's your fault.
Yeah, that's your fault. That's on you.
We still love,
but we don't want any injuries.
Yeah.
Let's get into our last part of the segment: overreaction or the truth. We're asking you a question. You'll ask me a question, and then we will say yes or no and kind of roll on. I almost want you to ask this question, but I'll ask you.
Here we go. I'll ask you. We'll flip it. Chiefs better without Tyreek.
I mean, I think it's the truth. I think we kind of have been saying that in the offseason too, that like, are they better overall? Probably not.
Yes.
Like, the Dolphins do have a better wide receiver room than them. Like, you put Patrick with them, really good, but they don't have a tight end. Like,
right.
But I think addition by subtraction of kind of the off things that you heard about Tyreek, like he was upset that he wasn't getting the ball as much, all this stuff. Like, this team can fully form better without him.
Better, maybe not. More complete team, 100%.
Which is crazy to say more complete without a true number one, but like, it's like, man, like it's tough.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Next one. They were your homies last year, the team that you said was going to do what they did, but overreaction or the truth, the Bengals season last year was a fluke.
I wouldn't say it's a fluke, but I told you that was their one chance to win the Super Bowl. They'll never be back.
They'll never be back.
The Bengals will never be back
with Joe Burrow.
That's one of those once in a to me. That's one of those once in a lifetime shots. If you don't get it, then I don't think you'll ever get it again.
It is
think
tough,
about it.
but like
think about who they have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Everything set up perfectly for them somehow.
Last year, they somehow did.
But you got to go through the Bills, the Chiefs.
You have to go through your division just to make the playoffs and to get to them players. Yeah,
Bills, Chiefs,
Chargers.
Hell, maybe the Raiders, maybe the Broncos.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Hell, I mean, the AFC is loaded.
Yeah,
you got to get through all that.
And but I would say if there's one quarterback,
the Steelers, Ravens, like you said, get out of your division.
There is one quarterback that I think could do it. It is Joey Burrow. That I mean, they did.
He's gonna keep coming.
They did start off slow. Yes, they did start off slow last year and ended up figuring it out. Like I think maybe they believed in their offensive line a little too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the beginning of the game, and granted, what the Chiefs did also to get back to that before we move on to our next overreaction or the truth, what the Chiefs did by scoring those points showed you the preseason still kind of means something because the Chiefs did have their players out there quite a bit more. Obviously not for what happened to like Joe Burrow probably would have been like, hey, I'll go out there and play some, but having appendectomy surgery and having to get his appendix taken out, like and being in the hospital for like 4 or 5 days during the season, that's kind of serious.
Like I say, to piggyback on top of that one, ask the Rams. They didn't play any of their starters in the preseason.
And they look like dog water too. So like
reps matter.
It's almost like you
can't simulate game speed.
Yeah. It's almost like that they're not playing one less preseason game on top of less practicing and less contact. Like that's kind of the product you're going to get in the first couple weeks, and this is what the players wanted to try to stay healthy. And we'll see how it works out. We'll see if the next collective bargaining changes anything, but like that's kind of what you got going. Yours.
Rodgers should have retired or left the Packers.
I wish we had the phone call set up because I would call our buddy Colton Mahern and ask him. He would say, hell no, he wants him. I think it's an overreaction. Like I said, last year they kind of started off slow. Yeah. But last year was a little bit different slow than this one because he still had Devontae Adams. He still had somebody like, all right, I'll figure out how to get him the ball.
I had more confidence in him last year, even though because they got beat by LASIK Winston the first game. But you're like, they'll be fine. Yeah. This one, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't. But this is their division. They already down one in their division. For as bad as they looked, though, they still kind of 7-23. There was a couple times like you're like, all right, they score here, they could be right back into it.
And they still have 12 back. They still have him back.
They still have 12.
Yeah, so.
I think they'll get it figured out. I don't think he should have retired. The thing is he signed knowing Devontae Adams was leaving. I think I don't know. Would you be upset if you saw Aaron Rodgers and if the San Francisco 49ers like, hey, we'll give you this for that? No. I mean, seeing him somewhere else just to see maybe
I like
he is
play some players.
There,
Except Patrick Mahomes, you're going to stay Chiefs. But I don't mind seeing other players in other places.
It was so weird seeing Favre with the Jets, but it was so awesome because the Jets were relevant then.
Yeah, and then we went to the
Vikings, and you're like, holy shit.
Tom Brady.
He is that.
We had this conversation. Like, I kind of like Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't get crazy on me, but when he went to the
Bucs,
Bucs, he's kind of, I'm like, oh, Tom Brady's
he is kind of a likable person.
Yeah.
Like all that. So, yeah.
I like that guy.
I don't know. The Packers seem to have a shelf life.
Yes.
They are a team that if you win before the big contract, you're set. Mm-hmm. They did it with Favre. They did it with, and then they kind of never won again.
Right.
And I don't know. I like Rodgers. I like the Packers. The thing is they just have no wide receivers. They have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, though, that they can win some games on that. But, like, that offensive line, it looked weird.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not as much as the Packers looked bad that the Vikings they're really good this year kind of thing.
I want to ask this. We need to re-ask this question in about 5 weeks.
Yeah. That's why I always said is I'm taking everything with a grain of salt till about week 4, and then you figure it out. Yep. Except our Chiefs. Super Bowl. Easy
let's
dubs.
go.
Bills are a lock for the Super Bowl.
No. But
if I would ask you this on Friday.
No, I still would have said no.
Okay.
Because I still did see everybody else play.
That would have been like, holy cow.
Yeah. Are the Bills good? I think the Bills are good. Yes, I think the Bills are very good.
Mm-hmm.
Lock for Super Bowl? No.
Lock for...
It's closer to lock
to... They're going to be in playoffs.
Yes.
But it kind of depends on where they will be. Mm-hmm. The way they played Thursday, they're probably the number 1 seed. I had the Colts, but now the way the Colts showed up, I don't know. Like, the Bills could run through there. Like, as much as the Dolphins played good, I don't know if they're going to be able to match up with what the Bills can do.
Yeah.
But then again, Tyreek Hill, like that's why you went and got Tyreek, because
Yeah.
he is the Buffalo's daddy. Like
Yeah.
throwing up peace signs. Now, granted, you're going to be playing that team twice in 1 year, maybe 3 times. Tyreek, you better hope you're still fast, because if one of them safeties can catch you,
they're going to get you.
they might,
Yeah.
you're going to get got.
You've tormented them too many times.
You played with your food too much.
Yeah.
They're going to pounce. That's what happens to cheetahs. They get a little bit older. They don't become the cream of they're not the cream of the crop anymore. So you got overreaction on there, a lock for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. Rams, Bengals will miss the playoffs.
You know, if I would have wrote down only one of these teams, I would probably say it's the truth.
Yeah.
But as much as so, Rams, L. Cardinals, L. Niners, L. Seahawks, W. L.
You're really riding that Seahawks
Just
W train.
I'm speaking into existence.
Got it.
Imagine. I
Got
can't
it.
wait. I'm going to get that text at like 10 o'clock last night or tomorrow night, and you're going to be like, you motherfucker.
Yes. You know what's going to happen
And
to
I'm
me?
just gonna laugh.
What's going to happen to me is the same thing that happened to the Saints. The Broncos are going to win but not cover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it would be hilarious. I don't think the Rams are going to miss the playoffs, but, like, I don't know. It's one of those, like, is Kyler going to treat this as losing a tournament in Call of Duty, and he's going to be pissed, and he's going to work on getting better? And that's the thing about
He won't.
that.
They took it out of his contract, remember? I don't have to
I
watch
know,
film
but, like,
anymore.
it's one of those, like, Brown looked good for him.
Yep.
They still have Ertz. Connor looked like a man possessed on some
Did.
possessions
Yeah,
running
he
football.
did.
That little 84, I feel like he's like our when we had DeAnthony Thomas, like one hard hit, and he might be the first person we see pass away on the NFL football field. Like he's just so shifty though, but like he's so small. Like he's not built like Tyreek. Like he's kind of more, but like Ukba or I forgot.
I
his
know
name or
what you're
something.
talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Just small, but he looked good. And then on top of all that, you're going to have D-Hop come back in 6 weeks. So you can't really
it's a
count.
different look. There'll be a different look here.
I don't think you can count the Cardinals out. The Rams, I think they're going to figure it out. I think that Super Bowl hangover is going to be gone for them. The Bengals almost feels like they're in a little bit of a tougher division because, one, the Rams lost to an AFC opponent. They didn't lose to a team that might end up losing several games in their own division and not – like, that's going to look good, bad against seeding. The Rams losing to the Bills, who's probably going to be in the playoffs.
That isn't.
When it gets to playing like
Yep.
players, like it's going to balance out. So I think it's an overreaction on both of them. One of them, I'd probably say maybe the truth. And the last one, Browns will have a winning record when Deshaun comes back and not. I'm not going to finish that.
I don't know. Because they have such a good running attack.
They
Like,
do.
They can keep themselves in any game.
They
because
have the Jets, so they're going to be 2-0 possibly.
Yep. Oh man, I almost need to look up their schedule just to see. I'm curious.
There's
on
very
that one.
winnable. Like when they were looking at it for games, and he comes back against the Texans.
Yeah.
So if they don't, they could possibly.
That could be probably 500 around then.
Yeah. Do. Browns, Panthers. Here we go. Browns. So they are Jets, Steelers, Falcons,
Probably.
Chargers,
Maybe. Now they got Super Bowl MVP Herbert on their team.
Patriots,
They could win.
Ravens,
No.
Bengals,
Yeah.
Dolphins, Bills, probably not,
No.
but they could slow the game down. Buccaneers, Texans.
I don't think they have a winning record.
So I got them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have them losing 5 right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they always play the Steelers close. I think the Steelers, it kind of depends on how Najee is.
Right.
I have them going 2-0, probably 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. Patriots, Browns. We'll see what ends up. Mac Jones.
Yeah.
We'll say Mac Jones is good. 3-3. Ravens probably gonna be 3-4. Bengals, I would almost say the Bengals are just gonna be too much. So then 3-5. Dolphins probably get them 3-6. Bills probably get them 3-7.
Tom ain't gonna lose.
3-8. So they come back 3-8. They basically almost have to win out, which is doable. You get Deshaun back, and then you're going to play Texans, Bengals, Ravens, Saints, Commanders, Steelers.
Yeah, that's a
But the problem is they're in the AFC.
Yeah.
If they were in the NFC,
Oh, yeah, no problem.
But hey, maybe Jacoby gets hot. Maybe Kareem Hunt and they keep doing their things. We'll see. So let us know if you listen to this podcast. Go over to our Facebook or anything like that. Say, hey, my overreactions. Ask us some other questions. We would love to hear from you guys some more. We do have a lot of people in our comments section and our messaging letting us know, like, hey, great podcast, all that stuff. You guys suck.
Appreciate it. Everything.
We appreciate any publicity.
Yeah, anything.
Anything. But this has been fun. What a first week. So glad it's back, man. I was like a half smile on my face the whole time I was sitting on my...
And I love all the craziness that happened in week one.
I mean, it was awesome. It felt good to be back. It felt good to be able to go back over there and have to fix up a rundown so we actually knew what the hell we were going to talk about kind of thing while we were doing it. Smashed some Dr. Pepper Zeros. Had some food. I mean, it's back to crock pot season almost too. It was like nice. 76 degrees out here today.
Nice.
It was so nice.
Unfortunately, it's about to be in the 90s.
I know. Yeah. This is hopefully the last week, for the love of God. It's going to be like 92 again. Like, that's when my wife's like, oh, I opened up all the windows. I was like, well, you're going to be shutting them all here soon because it's about to get hot again.
It's in that huge weather swing. We'll wake up in the morning, it's 50. By 4 o'clock, it's 95.
Yep. This last day was what I call the false fall.
Yeah,
you get that before you get the major,
the
actual fall and cold and all that. And honestly, I never really was a big like winter person. But man, my allergies this year have been so bad that I'm like, come on, winter, let's go kill everything.
Yeah, we need that first frost
out of here, whatever.
First frost,
just
please kill everything.
Get this ragweed or whatever it is out of here because like I just been sniffling my nose, everything like that. But let's get out of here. It's been long. We said it wasn't going to be that long.
Yeah, and we're super long. Again, it's all right.
Love this game. Love the sport. Love you, Trent. Thank you for listening to You Hear Us. We'll be back Wednesday night with our pick'ems and whatever questions you guys have for us to answer. Appreciate all you listeners. Hats will be getting put in tomorrow.
Okay.
Our first batch.
Yep.
So if you want a hat and you haven't reached out to us yet, please do let us know. We'll get you on the second batch. But appreciate all the support and love. Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
I've been always winning, I was going through the motions. People talking about me out here in the commotion. Yeah, my flow smooth.